Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down, Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening, hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation: that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is Big Win Wednesday, which means we're giving away a grand prize. Michigan State versus Penn State tickets, a couple weeks from Saturday. We're going to be giving away a pair of tickets at 10:15. Do not forget about it. You just got to text in that keyword to 989-837-6125. That also serves as our Mitt message line. So give all your thoughts, opinions, takes, the hot ones, the cold ones. We'll be reading those off throughout the course of the show if you guys light it up. So here's where we're going to start today. Ben Bosscher here with you. Kyle Sandel behind the glass producing for us today. I do want to start out with the Detroit Lions because despite them being on the bye last week and coming into this week with this big-time matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, there is a certain edge rusher that I'm looking at via the trade deadline because the trade deadline's in 6 weeks, ladies and gents. I'm sorry, not 6 weeks. That'd be ridiculous. 6 days. Tuesday, November 4th, we'll be talking about what are the Lions going to be doing today. Are they going to be aggressively buying? Are they going to be soft buying? I don't think they're going to be selling. And I certainly hope they, in some capacity, start to buy. So I'm starting to get ahead and look at some of the guys that might be available. And, the way I like to sort this out is, all right, what position do the Lions need the most help at? All right, let's sort by a certain statistic. Who's at the top of this? But this is actually an untraditional way to do it, the way that I found this person that I'm about to present. I think the Lions need a little bit of help on the defensive line. Not to say they need it, but if they want to lean into their strengths, which Brad Holmes has shown that that's what he wants to do, he wants to prioritize offense and defensive line and continue to double down on that, which I totally agree with that philosophy. And if Brad Holmes wants to do that, I think there's a player out there that could help the Lions in terms of let's be even better at stopping the run. Because they've been good at it this year, but not great. Right now, their opponents are averaging 4 yards per rush, 4 yards per carry on the ground. That ranks outside of the top 10 for the NFL. So if I'm looking for an edge rusher, I'm not necessarily looking for someone who's this dominant one-on-one guy, gets after the quarterback like as Zadarius Smith was last year. Because in a way, they have that with Muhammad. Muhammad has 5 sacks already this season. 1.5 shy of Aidan Hutchinson. So they have their edge rusher that can get after the quarterback on that other side. Do they have a dominant run stopper who can help the Lions on early downs? Remains a question. So I'm looking around at some of the bad teams. Who's willing to sell at the deadline? It's not going to be anybody within the division. A, because those type of trades just don't happen. And B, because everyone in the division still thinks that they have a shot to make the playoffs. But there is a team in the NFC South that certainly is going to be sellers at this year's deadline. They just made a quarterback change, and that would be the New Orleans Saints. The Lions prioritize themselves on being this culture-driven team. They're not going to draft anybody or sign anybody in free agency or trade for anybody that they don't think fits the Detroit Lions culture. If I was to give you a short list, let's say 10 guys who fit that culture that aren't currently on the Lions, how many guys are named before Cam Jordan comes up, Kyle? Because that, over the last decade, has been a staple of a good character, man of the year type of guy, Walter Payton man of the year, team captain. This is a guy who fits the Lions culture perfectly. And despite him being up there in age, 35, 36 years old, he has a top 5 run defense grade on PFF. He only has 2 sacks. But again, the Lions don't necessarily need help in the sack department as much as they do, hey, let's double down on our strength, or something that once upon a time was our strength, still one of our strengths, but not something we've been dominant in this year, and go bring in another guy to help stuff the run on first down. Cam Jordan fits that perfectly to me. He fits the culture. He can get after the quarterback a little bit if you need him to, but a guy to have out there on early downs, another guy to help out on the defensive line, to have that rotation of Muhammad, and then Cam Jordan, and then maybe when Marcus Davenport's back too. I think this is a win-win-win trade that doesn't cost the Lions a whole lot if the Saints do decide to sell someone who has been not only an anchor to their defense, but one of the faces of their teams the last decade.
This is interesting. I have not thought about a Cam Jordan acquisition yet. As soon as I heard you go to the New Orleans Saints, I was like, man, we're really doing the Chase Young thing at another season here, 3 years in a row. So that was the first thing that I thought of. But look, I've always been a big fan of doubling down on your strengths. And obviously one of the strengths of this Lions team the last several seasons, basically their entire time under Dan Campbell, has been stuffing the run. And so I've always been a huge fan of doubling down on that, especially like when offense was always a big need for, or I mean, when the offense was clearly better than the defense here, there was always a talk of, well, do you have to draft defense no matter what? I'm like, look, sometimes I think doubling down is the play. So I don't mind this. Cam Jordan obviously is a extreme vet at this point, likely going to retire at any given time.
Still has some money on the contract to where he's not under contract next year, but similar to the Kirby Joseph, how it's voided down the line. Like the Lions trading for him, potentially still paying for him years down the line, but I'm sure that can be negotiated as soon as he walks in the building. Because right now, the Lions actually still have a ton of cap space available for this season. So they can basically say, hey, all that void money, we'll just give that to you right now. and it'll be a rental. But, man, I can't imagine this costs more than, like, at most a third-round pick, right? And they don't even have a third-round pick this year. So maybe you're doing a next year third-round pick, a fourth-round pick this year. I mean, this is a guy with 2 sacks at the end of the day who's 35 on a rental. It's not going to cost very much.
It's not going to cost much at all.
Despite New Orleans having a strong connection to him and it being difficult to give a guy like that up.
That's what I was going to say. I think that would be my biggest concern with this trade. It's nothing to do with the on-field product or the value it takes to get him or the contract, any of the logistical stuff. I think at the end of the day, this is a guy that's played for the Saints his entire career and is like one of the legends of New Orleans. Like, is going to go down as one of the better defensive players to ever play for the Saints.
Sure.
So I think that is probably the biggest reason why I think maybe this is not unrealistic, but just would be tough to get done. It doesn't matter how bad the team is. It's tough for a guy who's played for a team his whole career to just move on from that team. You've built a legacy there, and you want to finish your career there.
Yes, but if Mickey Loomis, the Saints GM, has any sort of functioning brain, you have to start selling some of these guys if you can get any sort of draft picks. This is a season that has gone exactly how we thought it would, and it's been a disaster for this team. You got to start acquiring draft capital and moving on from eras of the past. Because as much turnover as the Saints have had over the past, ever since Drew Brees and Sean Payton left, Cam Jordan's been a staple of the defense, right? It's time to move on from that era if you're them. And unfortunately, that means you got to move on from guys like this. Like, there isn't even really a Lions comparison to what Cam Jordan means for that team, right? Like, I don't even know what that would be.
No.
So, yeah, maybe the Saints, it's tougher to break up with someone like that, but it's the smart thing to do. And I feel like the Lions calling up and bringing a guy, Dan Campbell and Cam Jordan overlapped in New Orleans, I'm sure that would be a guy that they love to bring in, just strictly in terms of the culture. And then we get into the X's and O's fit, and it fits even more perfectly. You have your edge rusher to get after the quarterback in Muhammad. You have Marcus Davenport coming back at some point. He's kind of a hybrid. And then you have Cam Jordan, who still at the age of 35, 36 years old, is one of the best run stuffers on the edge in the NFL. That's where the Lions can help out, can get some help at the trade deadline. We talk about the secondary. We talk about getting after the quarterback, who's that edge across from Aidan Hutchinson. Now that Ali McNeil's there, I don't think it's super important to go get someone whose specific skill set is to go get the quarterback, because they kind of have that with Muhammad. They have that with Ali McNeil in the middle. I think they need to double down on their strength. Right now they rank 11th in the NFL in yards per rush, opponent yards per rush. Let's go creep back into the top 5. And Cam Jordan's a perfect way to do that, in my opinion.
I think I like it the most for the culture thing, like you talk about, because my biggest pet peeve when we do all these mock Lions trades is that it's these guys that aren't culture fits, and they have made it clear time and time and time again. That is the number one most important thing.
Chase Young, perfect example.
Exactly. Like
who also still has 3 years left on his contract.
For sure.
It's like they're not paying that.
Exactly. And it's just like that. The Lions will show it over and over and over again. They're not going to bring in guys that aren't culture fits. They prioritize that rather than the product on the field. You can have an opinion on that however you want. My opinion is that that's how the Lions do it. So why would I predict them to go trade for a guy that clearly isn't a locker room fit or has had stuff off the field in the past? Cam Jordan, like you said, is one of the most, upstanding guys in the league. And also has a podcast. I think that's big, right? St. Brown podcast, Cam Jordan, a little
Terry
bit of
Arnold.
Terry Arnold,
a little crossover.
Little bit of a podcast thing going on there. But no, yeah, I think that's a good point. You bring a lot of good points to the table. I think just the number one thing for me is we already saw how Mickey Loomis and Alvin Kamara have talked about their stance for this season. That neither of them want to make a trade there. Kamara wants to stay in New Orleans. Loomis and them don't want to get rid of Kamara because he's a legend to New Orleans. You know who's a much bigger legend to New Orleans? Cam Jordan. So I think it might be a little bit difficult, but if there's any avenue there, I think that obviously it's worth exploring.
I also think from a Saints standpoint, it's malpractice to not trade both of those guys. I know Alvin Kamara said he doesn't want to get traded from there, and I'm not trying to do Saints radio right now, but come on, man, what do you do? Like, that's probably the guy you can get the most for. I know Olave's been thrown around. I know Rashid Shaheed has been thrown around, Cam Jordan, Alvin Kamara. They need to move on from this old scheme because they clearly need to, continue this rebuild that has barely gotten started and move on from some of these guys. And you can't get bullied into keeping everyone if you're Mickey Loomis, the Saints GM. Like, let's go. Let's move forward. And I think the Lions are a perfect team to kind of call that team up, say, hey, I know we don't need Alvin Kamara. We don't need either of your wide receivers. What we do need is that guy on the defensive line. And I'm careful with the word need because I don't think the Lions really need anything. This is one of the most well-rounded rosters in the NFL now that they're healthy, but the trade deadline is a perfect example of a way to improve on your strengths. Double down on them. Now, here's what I don't want to do for the next week. Topics built around Trey Hendrickson, topics built around Max Crosby. They're not going to get those guys, right? Brad Holmes has shown us that they want sustainable success. They're not going to go dump all the first-round picks and have the F them picks mentality. And while I don't always agree with not doing that, it's working because he drafts so well every April. And if the key to success, long-term success, is continuing to hit in the draft, then I'm going to let Brad Holmes do that because I don't love every move Brad Holmes makes, but his hit rate in the draft is enough for me to say, you know what, I trust him. I trust him. They're not going to be all in at this year's deadline, and I think that's okay. And also, they can't afford to pay those guys anyway. They're not giving up a first or a second round pick for Trey Hendrickson just for him to be a rental. Now, you will be able to give up a fourth round pick for a rental, but once you get creeping into the round 1 and the round 2 draft picks, it's just not worth it for a rental that is only going to be on your team for a few months. 989-837-6125. What are your thoughts on the NFL trade deadline for the Detroit Lions this season? And are you a fan of the idea of Cam Jordan joining the team? Basically a soft buy to help join and double down on the strength of this defensive line. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt. We'll go into some of the Lions' weaknesses that they need to improve on here at the deadline when we come back. 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. Strong businesses, well, they need strong tech, and that's where Iron Stack comes in. Locally owned in Midland, they keep your IT rock solid, from cybersecurity and cloud services to everything in between. Think of them as like an invisible backbone to your business. No capes, just smarter solutions. And whether you're a small shop or a growing company, Iron Stack makes sure your tech isn't going to crumble under pressure. Iron Stack Technologies, strong, steady, and built to keep you moving forward.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Iron Stack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Iron Stack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
Into the end zone. The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm right there, coming.
Trick or treat.
Hello, children. I'm sorry. I forgot to go buy candy this year. Hey, don't be rude, okay? I'm forgetful. You're just mean. Now, hold on. I do have these 8x10 glossies of Bill Simonson and Anthony Bellino. Happy Halloween from the Great Lake Basin's home for sports. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. Welcome back into the show. If you missed the open, here's my idea. Cam Jordan traded to the Detroit Lions. The deadline's in 6 days now, November 4th. They get one more game to kind of determine, hey, here's where we need to make improvements. I don't think the Lions are going to be all in, F them picks mentality, but I do think a soft buy is going to be happening here. And I'm kind of all in on that soft buy mindset to bring in a guy like Cam Jordan. Perfect culture fit, fits the Lions' need of trying to double down on this strength that the defensive line currently has. It's in somewhat of a down year. They're outside of the top 10 in opponent yards per rush. I want to see that creep back into the top 5. And with a Lee McNeil back, I think that's going to improve. Why not double down on it and try to get a guy like Cam Jordan in the building, who's been nothing but a culture fit for the New Orleans Saints over the last 10 years. So 989-837-6125. We can get some of your thoughts on that momentarily. It's funny, though, because I don't know if the Lions truly have a weakness that they need to improve at this year's deadline. Like, no Aidan Hutchinson last year, there was a clear need. And this year, you would think it's the secondary, but even the Legion of Whom balled out to the point where you're like, I don't know if that's necessarily a weakness either. I'm struggling to find one area where the Lions need to improve at the deadline, and everything feels like a want right now.
I think the one spot that they have a weakness at is the looming question of what's going to happen if Taylor Decker can't be healthy. But that's not something you fix at the trade deadline. You know, so like the one true weakness that they do have is something that probably isn't fixable this season.
Well, you could say the same thing about Kirby Joseph's knee. How's that going to hold up?
Right, but that's different because you have guys behind him that we saw that can be capable of filling in. Obviously, they're not going to make plays like Kirby Joseph, but they're at least going to be able to stop one of the NFL's best offenses in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like there isn't.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, whereas when Taylor Decker's out, like sure, Dan Skipper was holding things together when he played. We obviously know how bad Giovanni Manu was when he filled in for Taylor Decker, and so that's their biggest weakness. Not biggest weakness. It's probably their lone weakness. But even right now, if Taylor Decker's healthy, then there isn't one. And so I'm kind of with you here.
Yeah, that's the thing, Kyle, is if Taylor Decker's injury does get worse before it gets better, that completely changes the way I think about this team. And I know Dan Skipper's like a good 6th offensive lineman, a guy to bring in and potentially fill in some, games when Taylor Decker's out. But if he has to start for 3 playoff games in a row, I don't know,
or
man.
One playoff game?
Yeah, there's some defensive lines in the NFC, specifically the Eagles and the Rams. That would frighten me.
Would it even shock you, though, if
no.
No, but would it shock you when you say, I feel much differently about this team if Taylor Decker's injury gets worse before it gets better? Doesn't that seem like it's very it definitely could be a possibility?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. No, it wouldn't shock me at all if that ends up happening. There's basically nothing that could happen at this point for me to start thinking Taylor Decker's going to be healthy at some point this season. This is officially, it was probably officially a month ago, a real worry for this team. Not only in the short term, but the long term as well.
Sure, the long term I'm not as worried about it because I'm confident that they're going to be able to draft someone that can fill in that spot.
Really? Because they already tried to do that.
Not in
that
the
guy's
top
a
of the
disaster.
Draft. They haven't done it in the top of the draft. This team is a team that has just nailed the top of the draft. If they spend one of their first or second round picks hopefully first-round pick on a left tackle,
right?
Then I feel fine. But that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this season because there isn't a way to tape things up. There isn't a way to just go, okay, let's trade a 6th-round pick and a swap to go get a guy that can fill in because those trades just don't happen. You don't trade for starting tackles. And so
no, there's been one to get moved over the past 2 seasons, and he's been moved twice. Yeah, Cam Robinson. Once your offensive line falls apart, there's not a whole lot you can do to fix it. Ask Minnesota. Like, they've been dealing with offensive line injuries all season. They're not just going to be able to fix it overnight.
Yeah, it's been the main downfall of their team. It's not been Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy. It's been the offensive line.
Yeah, Ryan Kelly, their center's out. Both of their tackles have missed time. And there's just, unfortunately, not a whole lot you can do about it. And you can try to, I think this is why the Lions did decide to draft Giovanni Manu. It's like, okay, we can develop this guy and try to have a backup tackle that you can actually rely on. Obviously, that hasn't worked out. But having a 6th or 7th offensive tackle that you can actually count on is near impossible to find in the NFL. There aren't good offensive linemen that are backups. That's not really a thing.
Yeah,
there's no good depth. Yes.
Most offensive lines have their 5th guy isn't very good anyways.
Right, and the Lions are lucky enough to not really have a weak link to their offensive line. Now, you could say, hey, the 3 guys in the middle in pass protection haven't been fantastic. That's fine. Jared Goff's smart enough to get rid of the ball fast enough, and they're also pretty good in the run game to make up for it. But you're right. The Taylor Decker thing is a looming thing that cannot be fixed at the trade deadline, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's their weakness. And so that's when you correlate this question of do the Lions have a weakness with how can they, fix it or patch it up at the trade deadline. With this certain scenario, you can't. The good news is I'm basically saying if Taylor Decker's hurt, that's their weakness. And if he's healthy, then they don't have one. And so it's easy to be like, well, if one of your starting players gets injured, that's a weakness. But this situation is a little bit different because he has shown that this injury is looming a little bit for him.
Wouldn't it have been nice if the Lions' bye week was much later on? I mean, it's better than week 5 that they had last year.
Maybe.
Having the week 5 bye is probably the worst thing you can possibly ask for in the NFL in terms of your schedule. To rest up
terrible.
week 5 and
Especially
then have to go
game too.
12 straight weeks without one is pretty detrimental. Lions is right in the middle of the season. It would have been nice if it was like week 11 because now Taylor Decker's going to have to play, 8 games in a row?
Yeah.
I don't feel great about it because he played.
Have some Thursday games in there.
He played 5 games in a row and had to come out of the lineup.
Right. I'm not going to complain about their week 8 bye. I think it does come in a good spot with the amount of injuries that they were dealing with. It just kind of worked out for them.
Not complaining.
Especially with the spot.
Noticing.
To me, it's with the spot in the schedule as well. Getting that bye week in this split of games, coming off of the Tampa Bay game, and then now you get back into division play against a Minnesota team that, honestly, I think we're sleeping on a little bit with the change of J.J. McCarthy coming in. So I think it comes at a good spot.
989-837-6125. What's your preferred method to attack the trade deadline? Is it an aggressive buy? Is it a soft buy? Is it stand pat? Is there anybody out there that wants to make the case that you should sell? I'd say that's a little crazy, but hey, we're open ears here on this show. 989-837-6125. We've got the YouTube going as well. If you're new to the YouTube, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for us. Love seeing that follower count grow over the past couple months since we launched this show. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. We'll come back, hit the news, maybe get to some Mitt messages as well. Before we go, do want to say, you guys can see our bright smiles on the YouTube, and you can see the bright smiles because they start at Scott Family Dental, where comfort care and clean teeth come at a standard. Locally owned by Brandon Scott, a native of the Great Lakes Bay region, the business is family-focused. They treat patients of all ages like kids of their own. From routine checkups to whitenings, crowns, and more, they've got the gentle touch and the tools to keep you smiling bright. Friendly staff, modern tech, and zero judgment, even if it's been a while since your last visit. So go ahead and show off those pearly whites. Scott Family Dental has your back and your teeth.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Leaky gutters?
No problem.
Shabby shingles?
We got this.
Remodeling?
Yup, that too.
Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair, your roof, gutter, and remodeling experts.
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Call my dad. 989-529-8167.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. This month's recipient is Max Stecker from Midland High School. With a 4.6 GPA, Max was a state-ranked discus and shot put thrower, and the SVL Blues 2024 Player of the Year in football. Max credits his parents for instilling the work ethic in athletics and academics.
Both my parents, my mom was a teacher, so over the summers I'd be doing math packets, everything like that, staying on top of things. And then, my dad would always just, be the really big encourager as far as sports go and stuff like that.
Max is now attending Northwood, a member of the Timberwolves football and track and field team. He's majoring in accounting and finance. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete, as we are now taking applications for our 2025-26 scholarship program. Visit 1009themitt.com.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. As a business owner, you might be struggling with today's technological advancements in the IT arena and how they could benefit your growing business. Let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
At Scott Family Dental, we treat every patient like family because it's in our name. Our office culture is built on trust, comfort, and care, just like you'd want for your own loved ones. We don't sign contracts with insurance companies, so we can offer the highest quality dental care without compromise. That means your treatment is based on what's best for you, not an insurance plan. Scott Family Dental, compassionate care, lasting smiles.
Visit scottfamdental.com to schedule today.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's take a quick time out on the trade deadline and hit the news here on the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Alrighty, Ben, let's get right into the news.
Alrighty.
Of course, yesterday we had Game 4 of the World Series, so let's discuss that. Before we discuss that, though, we obviously have to take a look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Today, Ben, is the last day of the Wednesday Farmers Market in the back of Dow Diamond.
Oh, man.
It'll still be going on in Saturdays in November, though, so you can check it out there. But last time on a Wednesday, you can go today. So go check that out.
Might have to stop by after the show.
We might have to because it's last Wednesday. So, yeah, you can check that out once again back at Dow Diamond here. Okay, yesterday, World Series, Game 4, Blue Jays tie it up with a 6-2 victory. Vladdy goes deep off of Ohtani. Did I not kind of call it, Ben? Did I not like a little bit call it? Ohtani was going to get touched up a little bit on the mound.
What, did he give up 3?
Give up 4.
Give up 4. Okay. Yeah,
Went
I guess
6
you did.
innings.
I guess you did.
It's just hard. I mean, when you bat 9 times in a game and got to go pitch the next day, it's a lot to ask a guy to do, even the greatest ever to do it. So, tied up at 2 apiece, man. This has been a really good World Series.
This has been a fantastic World Series. Vlad Guerrero now batting. You want to take a guess?
Ooh.
In the playoffs?
Just in the playoffs?
Yeah. 7 home runs is only short of Shohei Ohtani's 8.
Ooh.
But he's killing Ohtani on the average.
400?
419.
Wow.
Just ridiculous stuff. 1,300 OPS for Vlad Guerrero through 15 games. He's such a superstar. I hope he gets one eventually, but I don't think it's going to be this year.
But this series has gone, I think, better than most expected it to for the Blue Jays, especially coming off of that emotional loss in Game 3.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to play again today. Game 5, the last one in L.A., happens today. Trey Savage back on the mound and Blake Snell back on the mound. The Game 1 starters pitching here in Game 5.
3 straight games. I don't know if I like that. It's look, I'm not opposed to milking the World Series a little bit, you know?
Right.
You don't have to play the 3 games in a row.
It's because of the 2-3-2.
I know, but you can let this thing breathe.
But then it sets it up, though, for a Friday-Saturday Game 6 and 7.
Why? But, okay, it should definitely be... I feel like the World Series should end on a Friday. No? Like, why go up against college football?
Sure. It could end on a Friday.
Yeah, you're right.
Either team has the opportunity to, so...
Yeah, good call.
Make sure you're tuned in tonight. I believe it's at 8 once again. Yep, 8 p.m. on Fox. Blue Jays-Dodgers Game 5. Going to be a pivotal game. Okay, Red Wings, they were back in action last night. They beat the Blues again. 5-2 win. They advanced to 7-3 record-wise.
Best start for the Wings since 2010. They're on fire, man. Dylan Larkin scored another one last night. He's towards the top of the NHL in total points on the season. I'm starting to really believe in this team. And a little bit later on, we're going to talk about how they rank amongst the 4 teams in the power rankings for the Detroit Power Poll.
Really?
A little tease for later on in the show.
Interesting. No Red Wings tonight. They're back in action tomorrow out west to take on the Kings. Who is in action tonight, though, in Detroit? Pistons, Magic, tonight at 7. Another home game for Detroit after they started their season on the road. Looking to bounce back after that game against Cleveland on Monday.
Yeah, ugly game all around on Monday. Here's a chance to bounce back against an Orlando team that's off to a slower start than people maybe thought. Orlando's one of those teams in the Eastern Conference that have kind of been running parallel to the Pistons here for a couple of years. Picking at the top of the draft the year after Cade Cunningham. They ended up taking Paolo, and now they've kind of both been marching towards getting to the top of the Eastern Conference. So this is a big one. Orlando's favored by 1. And this is a team that's in the Pistons group play for the NBA Emirates Cup, the in-season tournament, which starts in a few weeks. So here's a little preview of one of their games. It's going to be at home for the Emirates Cup on the funny floors.
One of the teams that was supposed to take a giant leap this year. It was a lot of people's pick to be 3rd in the East in Orlando. So it's a fun little matchup here early in the season between these 2 young teams. Cade and Paolo has always been a good debate as far as star young players. So I'm excited for this game tonight.
What have they started, 1-3? Orlando?
I believe they're 1-3. Yes, unless they played last night and I missed it.
Nope, they're 1-3.
Yep.
Pistons 2-2.
Big game. Excited to watch that tonight at 7. Okay, this isn't really news, but I just wanted to talk about this because obviously he's back. Brian Branch back at practice yesterday for Detroit.
Yep.
When asked about it afterwards, he was asked about if his actions merited a suspension, and apparently he just broke out in laughter and kind of shook it off and said, "Look, man, they gave me what I deserved. I served my suspension. I'm ready to move past it." So we're obviously very excited to have Brian Branch back this week against Minnesota.
Without a doubt, they're going to need him with those weapons that Minnesota has running up and down the field, and Jefferson and even Hutchinson and Addison. I just now realized all three of their last names.
Sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian Brant's going to light them all up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Brian Branson will absolutely dominate them.
Yeah. Brian, or Deion Branch.
Branson.
Yeah, Deion Branch.
Yeah. Okay, we had obviously college basketball starting next Monday. Michigan State had an exhibition against UConn last night. That's a pretty fun little exhibition. Two top dogs.
What the hell happened?
This was out at UConn. The Huskies win 76-69, and you're thinking, oh, so did you watch the game? How did it go? No, because this game was only available on UConn Plus TV. Wasn't available on any sort of MSU watching things. It was on the Spartan Radio Network, so you could listen to it radio-wise. But you couldn't watch this game. UConn Plus?
No, thanks.
So
Not
even
pay for
schools have their own Plus network now? I mean, what are we doing?
I saw this was a blowout somewhat early. I guess I'm surprised that they got back into it.
UConn was up big early, and then Michigan State had a big second half. Came back. They cut it down to within a 5-point game, I think, late, and obviously ended up losing by 7. But, I mean, is that a shock? Michigan State has always been this slow-starting offense team. That's just always how they've been.
I did see a video of Dan Hurley just losing his mind in a huddle when they were up 20 in an exhibition game. Like, that's why we love you, Dan.
Yeah, we are back.
That's why we love you.
College basketball is so back, yeah. So
can we get that version of Tom Izzo back? So, like, grabbing his player's
we
jersey.
still get that version of Tom Izzo.
No, we don't. Not prime Tom Izzo.
Well, ever since the Aaron Henry play in the tournament when everybody had a fit about him grabbing him or whatever, it's when the player and the coach don't have an issue with it, I don't see why anyone else does. But
because they're afraid that guys are going to transfer if you touch them.
Well,
Pause.
Yeah, okay, chill out. Okay, speaking of older NBA players or older basketball minds.
Michael Jordan.
Yes, Michael Jordan. We'd all been waiting for this, Ben. What does Michael Jordan think about load management? We've all been dying to know because I am really up in the air about how he feels. I didn't have any way, there's obviously not one way he would lean. No, this is obviously all a joke. Yesterday on his 8-part sit-down with Mike Tirico, he did his opinion on load management, and he said, well, he criticized it. He quote says, "It shouldn't be needed first and foremost. I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. It was something that I felt like the fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress that guy way up on top who probably worked his butt off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket."
Yeah, there's a reason you were completely washed when you went back to Washington and came out of retirement. It's because you played so many games. Look, I understand that not everyone wants load management. In an ideal world, everyone's playing all 82 games, but if basketball is so physically demanding in 2025, and I'm not talking about like the elbows being thrown, because obviously it was a little bit more physical in that department back in the heyday, but now with how athletic everyone is and the cutting and how fast you have to play and how hard people are planting with these 1-foot Euro steps, like it's just a lot on the body. And if you want to win a championship, the best way to do it is to sprinkle some days off throughout the season. But this is not as much of a problem as it once was.
Right.
Like 7 years ago. It was really bad. But it feels like
Kawhi on the Spurs was like when this really got started.
Right.
It was really bad. Yeah.
And it got pretty ugly. It feels like we've taken a step forward from it. The real only guys you see it right now, and it's like Steph, he'll do it once in a while. LeBron just he doesn't load manage, but like he'll just like have an injury suddenly. But I don't know how anyone can be mad at LeBron for taking a day off at this point.
Jordan never would have, though.
No, you're right. Jordan never would have.
I just love how this was like a big deal. It's like, oh, let's hear his take on load management. Like, dude, I can tell you his take on load management, and I've never talked to the guy,
Wait, you haven't?
I have one more thing in the news. I just got to show you this. The Packers are unveiling these throwback jerseys this week. And, of course, the Packers are owners of some of the worst jerseys in football. I put them on the screen here on YouTube for anyone who's watching. They are pretty nasty. It's like a navy and bronze type of look. They're not nearly as bad as the Steelers jerseys from this past game, but they're definitely something else. So the big question is, what is Romeo Dobbs' Guardian cap going to look like in this helmet?
Do you think he'll just put real leather on his helmet?
What's it going to look like? Because I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, it was obviously as a joke, but like I'm actually wondering, what is the Romeo Dobbs Guardian cap going to look like with that huge leather bronze type helmet?
Ugh. The jersey itself is not bad. It's the pants and the helmet that are
yes.
I'm not very much a fan of. Yeah, it's like It's like a leather painted helmet painted onto the actual helmet.
They're
Old
pretty
school.
gross. Packers are always owners of some pretty nasty jerseys, so no shock there.
989-837-6125. We'll get to some more trade deadline conversations when we come back. It is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm here with Matt Smith with Modern Realty. All right, Matt, forecast 2025 for us.
Well, in 2025, I believe you're going to see a much more balanced market. We've been in a seller's market for a number of years. We're still not busting at the seams with inventory, but we are seeing the market start to balance out a little bit. That means it's still a really good time to get great value out of your home. But for the buyers out there, it also means that your path to home ownership should be a little bit easier.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it!
100.9 The Mitt.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think we're nearing the end of the Jonathan Smith era at Michigan State. I think Scott Harris trading for a half dozen pitchers at the trade deadline is officially a failure considering how the season ended. I think the Detroit Lions are going to give the Packers an astronomical revenge whooping on Thanksgiving later this year. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon, presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 2 Lions-related things to get to in this segment. The first of which is, how much does Week 9 determine what the Lions do at the deadline against this Minnesota team? I think the answer is somewhat little. Like, even if Justin Jefferson kind of lights up the secondary for the Detroit Lions, I don't think they should be like, you know what? Forget our plans that we had. We need to fix the secondary. Justin Jefferson does that to a lot of teams, even if you have great corners and a great secondary. So I don't think Week 9 necessarily, like, I don't think it dictates the outcome a whole lot. Obviously, it changes it a little bit, but I think I'm pretty set on adding to the defensive line. They'd have to get really tormented by Justin Jefferson for me to think, you know what, maybe it's secondary. That's the biggest need.
I mean, like you said, they just already are going to get tormented by Justin Jefferson, likely, right? I mean, not saying it's a guarantee, but
I don't know. Meek does a pretty good job on him for the most part.
You're right. That's a fun matchup. Aren't those guys like they played in high school against each other and stuff too? There's that whole storyline there.
Yes.
So that plays into it. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not going to overreact if Justin Jefferson goes for 160 through the air and a touchdown. Like, that's just kind of what he does. So I'm with you in that perspective. Maybe if they're unable to get to McCarthy and McCarthy balls out, then maybe it's like, okay, now we really need to get somebody off the edge. That's something I think is more likely as far as being overreaction to a game ahead of the trade deadline. But yeah, in the secondary, I don't really think there's much that could go down wrong, especially because DJ Reed isn't playing in this game and is going to be coming back. You know, so that's your like acquisition. Is you're getting your CB1 back in the game after this one, hopefully.
Yes. Remember for a while when we floated around Terron Arnold being the CB1? That was right. Short-lived. Yeah, I mean, DJ Reed's been good enough to call him that, though, and Amik Robertson's
I feel like he was coming into the year, too, right?
Yeah. I mean, he was always playing next to Sauce Gardner, so he was never
True.
really viewed as a CB1. But I think he's lived up to it. That game he was having prior to him getting hurt, was that against the Browns? Or was that against Cincinnati? Whatever game he ended up getting hurt, I thought he was phenomenal in that game. Like, just unreal, all over the place for him. So I think this is where I'm at. I want to add to the defensive line. I want to go get someone who fits the culture, and I think that person is Cam Jordan. Seasoned veteran, former Walter Payton Man of the Year, one of the top 5 PFF grades in terms of stopping the run. That's where I want to add at the deadline. The second Lions thing I wanted to get to, this is more of a fun thing to close out the hour. Who had the best Halloween costume from their party last night?
Ooh.
I see Jared Goff as a chef. I think this is Amon-Ra St. Brown as like a burglar. I'm not exactly sure what he is. Penei Sewell as the Scarecrow is just funny from Wizard of Oz. I don't know why. It just makes me chuckle a little bit. And then I see one of Aidan Hutchinson in a hospital gown with bleeding eyeballs and Egos being 11 from Stranger Things with that new season coming out in December. I think I like this one the most. I'm a big Stranger Things guy, so I'm a little bit biased. But Hutchinson it's simple. It doesn't take a whole lot. It's just a gown, a wedding gown with a little fake blood on it and a box of waffles. But I love it. It's creative. It fits cultural, what's going on, pop culture. Hutchinson's my favorite.
Shout out to St. Brown for posting all these, by the way.
No kidding. This is St. Brown, right? Who's like a robber? A burglar? I'm not exactly sure what he's holding.
I think that's J-Mo.
Is it J-Mo?
Yeah, that's J-Mo.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't really know what that is, what that costume is. I mean, I think that Jared Goff is pretty funny.
Let him cook.
Right? Ratatouille.
Oh, is that what he is?
Yeah, it's Ratatouille, yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just like a random chef.
But it's the dude from Ratatouille. So, I mean, that is
Yes.
like that. I mean, it is a chef, The Hutchinson costume is pretty good. I wish I would have got some screenshots of these so I can toss them up on the YouTube for those that haven't seen them. But
Hutchinson's is good, but I changed my mind. I have a different favorite one.
Gibbs
coming in as Jeff Hardy.
I was going to say, I figured that would be your favorite.
For all the WWE guys
Right.
out there, he's got the Jeff Hardy old 2007 face paint on. He's got the WWE belt. If he was a little bit more in tune with the culture of wrestling, he'd have the right title on. He is like the current 2025 title, and obviously Jeff Hardy is no longer, competing at that level. But yeah, really creative there. That's biased, but it's always fun because this has happened the last 5 years with the Lions Halloween party that I don't know who's hosting this or whose house it's at, but they go all in on this.
Yeah.
And it's usually in the middle of a week.
I mean, that's what it was this week too.
Right.
It was on a Tuesday night. Yeah, ahead of a day of practice. But I mean, it's tough when you have obviously they could have done it last week, I guess, on the bye week, but a little bit too early of Halloween.
Slightly too early.
So here's my question for you, Ben, is seeing all these costumes that the Lions were rocking, maybe getting you a little bit more in the Halloween spirit to dress up on Friday?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, right?
But I think it's just too late if I don't have a costume at this point.
Oh, dude, I went to the Spirit Halloween store in Midland the other day. They got plenty of stuff ready.
Define the other day. Like this week? Last week?
Sunday?
Yeah, I feel like they
Sunday
might just
night.
be out of stuff by now. So
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, they might actually.
It's kind of too late to do a Halloween costume.
I've
if you
always,
don't have one
I've
planned
always
already.
wondered about them stores.
What do they do,
You're just
like,
open,
from December
You're just open
to-
for like a month. Well, they're not even open the rest of the year. They just pop up into these random buildings for like a month.
Like
and then
what
they're
goes on
done.
in the building December to
Or like what do you like the
September?
people that work there? Like you're signing up to just like work a job for like 2 months, and then what do you do after that? You know, obviously you got to go find something else to do. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
Sounds like a money laundering business.
No, I mean they get a lot of sales in those times. Obviously, Halloween costumes.
Yeah, enough to make up for the whole year? I don't know. This is like the whole mattress store theory.
Right.
Like, really?
What is Tesla's costume? I'm trying to figure out what that is. Is that
I don't know.
Is it Willy Wonka?
I don't know. I saw someone call it a
No,
prince.
I know what
but
it
he looks
oh,
like a
oh
pirate.
no, it's Prince. It is Prince, like the singer.
Oh.
Yes, that's what it is.
I see.
Oh, because the mustache. Yes, it is Prince. Okay, that
He
makes
looks like
sense.
he's 14 years old. Am I wrong?
You see the video of Goff? He was juggling too.
Yeah,
with his
I was
Ratatouille.
unaware that Goff could juggle like that.
It seems like a skill a quarterback should have. I
Ro-
don't know why that makes sense, but it does.
Roy Lopez, I believe, is or not. Yeah, Roy Lopez looks like he's Santa Claus with a pipe in his mouth. That's pretty good. He's like blinged out Santa Claus.
Nice.
I like that. Malcolm, did you see Malcolm Rodriguez?
Yes.
This is the first time I'm seeing this. That's really good. He's
Greek
Hercules.
God, yeah.
And he looks jacked in that. Oh, this is really good. Tyleek Williams is what's the Flintstones guy's name?
Fred?
Yeah, Fred Flintstone. Dating myself here. That's pretty good. These are good, man. The Tigers or the Lions really go all out for the Halloween
I think it's cool.
costume.
I think it's cool when teams do stuff like this. Like it doesn't even, not even the fact that it's Halloween. Just I don't know. I think it's cool that they kind of show their personalities a little bit off the field, and they're all hanging. I
like
love
that
when
they're
I
all
see
hanging
the
out.
stuff hanging out together off the field. Yeah, I find that so cool as a fan of the team to show that these guys really do bond off the field and everything. Like, I don't know if you remember seeing the clips I think it was at Panay's wedding a couple years ago.
Yeah, when Panay was just getting down and
Yeah,
dirty
and
dancing.
Montgomery was going crazy there. Like, it was so cool to see just all those guys together at the wedding. Like, I don't know. Stuff like that
They're
is
brothers.
just, it brings out, like, the real inner fanboy in me. Like, more than when I watch the games, almost. It's just like, man, this is sweet to see these guys just, like, hanging out, being boys, you know?
Graham Glasgow in a onesie with a couple Coors Lights in his hand.
Yeah, gonna be a tough practice today for the fellas.
I think Mahogany may be
Is
Shrek?
Taylor Decker, is that the Undertaker? What is that?
No, that's from Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay, see, I'm unfamiliar with that, so I figured it was something like that.
I forget that character. That's Jason Momoa's character in Game of Thrones.
Got it.
Yeah, he's one of the Dothraki guys. Who is the Joker?
I know I saw the Joker in the
That's a
background.
really good
background
Joker.
of one of the pictures. It must just be like a staffer or something. I don't know if it's a player because
I
that
don't
is a
know.
really good Joker fit. If you pulled up in a fit that good
On Friday?
I'd be astonished.
See, I would rock the Jack Campbell fit. Jack Campbell's just wearing like a simple chef hat and an apron, and he's holding a Campbell soup.
Yeah,
that's my
that's
side
fine.
costume.
That's
just like
fine.
very minimal effort put into it. I don't think I'll ever be a person to do the face paint
It's
or
a little
the body
too, It's
paint.
a little too tough.
Yeah.
It's a lot to commit to.
Yeah, that's not really for me.
No, I'm with you. It's not really for me either.
I think costume of the year for my vote goes to Jeff Hardy, Jahmyr Gibbs. Biased, totally biased. I'll admit it, but that's my vote for costume of the year.
Love it.
Yours?
I got to go with Hutchinson. Hutchinson's is sweet.
11.
Yeah.
Are you a Stranger Things guy?
No, but I've seen it. But I'm not like a huge die-hard Stranger Things guy.
Fair enough. I like Hutchinson's because it's simple. Like, just get a little fake
Right.
paint underneath the eyes. I don't know where you find a bloody hospital gown. You're just carrying around waffles all day. That's really good. All right, 989-837-6125. Michigan State, we are searching for their next head coach despite them not even parting ways with their current coach, Jonathan Smith, yet. We think that's inevitable, so we found a couple candidates to maybe fill that void as the head coach for the Spartans. I'll tell you who my candidates are when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, a couple things I'll mention. One I'm really proud of is the work we've done on post-secondary education, because when we think about what really transforms an individual's life, it's education. That makes such a difference in the ability to be able to have a livable wage, to be able to contribute to your community, to be able to give back. So the work that we've done in the post-secondary space, because we give out a lot of scholarships, but when I got there, I went, it seems like we're just a processor of scholarships. I want to be a promoter of education.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it!
100.9 The Mitt.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
From the Blasey Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back in. Hour number 2, as always, presented by Corning. The Michigan State Spartans are still in search of their next head coach because they haven't really fired their current head coach, which seems inevitable at this point. We came up with a couple different candidates for Michigan State to potentially replace him. I have a safe candidate, I have an offensive candidate, I have a defensive candidate, and I have a culture candidate. The offensive candidate I have is Mike Denbrock, Notre Dame offensive coordinator. This team that just was in the national championship last season, taking a freshman quarterback and had some success there. Defensive candidate, Phil Parker, Iowa DC. He's been there forever. Iowa always has a great defense. This is somewhat of a safe hire, kind of get a higher floor for the Michigan State Spartans. And then the culture guy, 33-year-old former captain of the Spartans, an undrafted linebacker who somehow got a 4-year NFL career out of it. He's been with Cincinnati, Alabama, now with Notre Dame. Max Below. This is an interesting person that a lot of people, I think, have circled as someone who could potentially fill that void as the head coach. Is he experienced? Not really. Has he ever called plays or been an offensive defensive play caller? No. But this is a guy who, if he could hire the right coordinators and the right coaching staff around him, I think could change the culture of this Spartans program, which is in desperate need of somewhat of a reset and finding a new identity and building something, not necessarily overnight, but something that the fan base can at least be proud of and believe in, because it's now been 4 years of just like the most mediocre football that fans are just not invested in right now. And even if they're losing, I mean, we've seen this with Dan Campbell, right? Even if they're losing, if they can see that their guys are trying and they believe in their team, that's to me what matters right here. So this Max Below character, who was a captain for the team in 2012, this is really interesting to me.
I think that it's interesting because at least he's currently with a bigger program, and I think that has clearly been the big issue with Jonathan Smith. Like that's something that I've come to grasp to just in the last couple of weeks with all this going down, is that now that we're in this era of Big Ten, SEC are the two major conferences of college football, you need somebody who's been a part of a prestigious program, I think, to come to Michigan State. Not saying that Michigan State is a prestigious program, but Jonathan Smith was a West Coast coach, never had any ties to coaching in the Midwest, and clearly, I mean, an Oregon State team that was good, but it's not nearly on a level of playing field that these Big Ten teams are. And so looking back at it, we love the fit. It clearly wasn't a good fit for Jonathan Smith to coach any Big Ten team, and it just so happened to be at Michigan State. No ties to the Midwest. Whereas Max Bula has obviously, of course, ties to Michigan State. There's been a lot of former players as well, Spartans, that are kind of advocating for him via social media. He's been talked about by Mike Vrabel. He's been talked about by a bunch of other guys as like a guy that is clearly a leader of men. And a lot of people are advocating for him in that sense of things, which is big. It seems like the culture is going to be immediately fixed if he comes to Michigan State, which that's probably the first thing that has to get rebuilt, right?
Yes.
There's no sense of culture here. I mean, even Magic Johnson, who I know gets memed a lot for his tweets. You know, he has a lot of just tweets that are like, the Los Angeles Lakers tonight lost by 10 points. Like he just kind of is like a robot on Twitter.
Yeah, I just watched the Dodgers lose.
Yeah, like he tweeted about the Dodgers last night because he's a huge Dodgers fan. But he tweeted this past weekend on Sunday, it's been hard for me to cheer up for my Michigan State football team. They are 0-5 in the Big Ten. The offense is lacking imagination, and the team overall looks uninspired. We can read into whatever we want about how big of a meme Magic Johnson is on Twitter. When your biggest alumni that exists is tweeting that out about the current football team, that means there's something wrong with the culture. Yeah. And there's something wrong with the collective of alumni that feel about Michigan State football. When the leader of it all is tweeting that out, it's very obvious there's an issue there. So the culture needs to be the first thing that needs to be fixed. And to me, the second thing is it has to be a guy that's at a big program. It has to be a guy that is coaching somewhere, whether it's an assistant like Bulla is, or it's a former head coach that is turned into an assistant, because you're obviously not just going to go pull some head coach from a big program. It's got to be somebody that's coached where it matters, not Oregon State.
And the thing with Bulla, too, is not only is he a linebackers coach for Notre Dame, obviously very prestigious, but he was with Bama for the 2020 championship. Like, he spent a few years with Alabama and Nick Saban. And this seems like a guy who anyone that has spent any sort of time around him is just like, oh, yeah, we believe in this guy to lead men. Like, we believe in this guy to he's capable of anything. You know what I mean? It's just like sometimes you run into these people in your life where you just kind of know it right away. Like, yeah, this guy's a leader. Like, this guy's destined to do great things. I'll get behind his cause. I don't care if he's inexperienced. He's going to put in the work to figure this thing out. Would there be some bumps and bruises along the way? Yes. Is this a big risk to hire someone who's never called plays or doesn't really have a pedigree and is only 33 years old? Yes, but look, Michigan State's not going to get one of the top guys that are available. And would my number one choice probably still be James Franklin? Yeah, because you at least know what you're getting with him. And there's a super high floor, I think, with James Franklin, higher than Michigan State's ceiling has been the last few years. But this Max Bola character is a guy where, yeah, it's definitely a swing. It could be a swing and miss for sure. But it's also someone who I think could establish something that you can actually count on if you're a Spartan.
Right.
Like, that to me is what's the most important right now, getting your fan base to believe in your team again. And
not just the fan base, the alumni. Like, that I think is super important. We talked about, remember Brandon Dawson tweeted out to Nick Marsh's mom that his son needs to transfer?
That kind of stuff just can't happen.
And it puts a lot of pressure on Jay Batt because, one, I mean, there's been several reports now that essentially Michigan State doesn't have the money to buy out Jonathan Smith, so it's a tough balance for Jay Batt to figure out how to do this. Like he'd
be gone if they had the money.
Of course he would. Like that's why he's not gone. And so that's why Jay Batt, I think, is in a really tough position. So he has to nail this hire, but I think he has to nail this hire in the sense of pleasing the alumni and pleasing the funders that are going to give this program money, right?
No.
But that's what this. What do you mean? No, that's what this hire is.
You can't.
That's what hiring Max Bullitt is.
But no, because you can't. Well, maybe you can't make your hire based on winning the press conference. Like, you can't make your hire to please everybody else. Please everybody else. Like, you got to do what you think is going to be the most sustainable for your program. And if you can sit down with this guy and he can give you his vision and you can believe in him, then hire him. But don't do it simply because you're hearing some other people want him as your coach. Like, J-Bat has to go do what he thinks is the best for this job. And then we can start talking about what kind of decisions he's made. Because all we've talked about is, hey, look at this guy's history. Like, he's with Georgia Tech. Look at what they've built. He's with Bama. Look at what they've built. He's in charge of the NIL in both of those teams. And look how far both of those programs have gone here. We've had nothing but great things to say about J-Bat. This hire can't be because so-and-so on Twitter, a Michigan State alumni, wants this person to be their coach. He's got to be in charge of this decision and not try to win the press conference, but get someone in the building who he thinks over the next 5 years can get Michigan State to compete at a high level. Now, you can go make a safe, swing at this thing and go hire that Iowa defensive coordinator that I brought up, Phil Parker. Like, that's a safe move, but I don't think that's inspiring anybody. You can go hire the Notre Dame OC too, and that's someone who has a couple Michigan State ties as well. But like the Max Bola character, I think that is the most intriguing person to me right now. Just in terms of anyone who's been around this guy is an advocate for him to one day be a head coach. Could that be rushed? Sure, but if he's destined to do it, then why not just kind of start the train early?
Right,
and he's young.
Well, that was my argument behind it wasn't necessarily to please the alumni. It's got to be someone that the alumni can get behind. And clearly Jonathan Smith wasn't one of those guys. And so that's why hiring a guy that is a perfect culture fit and is a former Spartan and clearly the alumni will be able to get behind, like, that's important. This fan base and the alumni base is just given up on this football program. And so that's why I think it is a good fit, obviously. And then you talk about just the fact that all the praise that he's gotten from former coaches and former athletes, like it does make a lot of sense. It's risky for sure because, like you said, that not a ton of experience as the actual head guy on defense or just as the head coach in general. But we see that, I mean, you have to start somewhere, Like these jobs have to come out of anywhere. And so it's interesting.
989-837-6125, your ideal candidate for the Michigan State head coach job. 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Corning, a global leader in material science right here in Midland. From the glass in your smartphone to innovations that power clean energy in advanced medicine, Corning is shaping the future. But it's not just about the tech, it is about the people. Corning invests in the community, supports local schools, and creates opportunities that are close to home. With a legacy of innovation and commitment to what's next, Corning is proud to call Midland a part of its story. Corning, creating life-changing innovations, one breakthrough at a time. Guys, we are just a couple minutes away from our Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. We're giving away Michigan State tickets to their game against Penn State. What do we think? Is Jonathan Smith still going to be employed when this game rolls around?
So one of those teams has to win their first Big Ten game.
Hey, maybe Michigan State can win their first Big Ten team this week against Minnesota on the road. No. So we're going to give away a pair of tickets when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text Clean Car to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 989-837-6125. That is the number to text in to try to win our Michigan State tickets. It's 10:15, so let's do it. Again, 989-837-6125. Text in the word coach. Coach, because the Michigan State Spartans are trying to find their next head coach. So text in coach and your name to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win the Michigan State versus Penn State tickets for a couple Saturdays from this week. All right, while we're letting those texts roll in, you guys are going to have about 15 minutes to send those in. While the texts are rolling in, let's continue this conversation about who we think is going to be the next Michigan State head coach. So this Max Below character, captain for Michigan State in 2012, has coached with Cincinnati, Alabama, and now is the Notre Dame's linebacker coach. Everyone just raves about this guy. Everyone that has come in contact with him has had nothing but amazing things to say. But doesn't it make you a little bit nervous to hire a 33-year-old? Because it does for me. Someone who's never really been in charge of anything but a group of, some Notre Dame linebackers.
And it does make you feel like the hire has to be someone that has experience as a head coach. Like, I know that Jonathan Smith did too, but it just feels like this hire is so important. It's very crucial to not mess it up 2 times in a row.
100%.
Not
3
saying
times in
that
a
Max
row.
Bullough can't be, but because I do think that hiring the youngster that ends up turning things around, like, you can nail that. That we've seen that happen in the past. But it's for sure a major risk.
The issue is if you hire this person or anyone and they end up not being a good coach, that's 3 straight hires where someone hasn't been able to pull the program out from the dirt. That would mean to me, it starts screaming like you can't win here. So if there's a third head coach that all of a sudden starts struggling, then it's starting to get into a dangerous, like, I don't know if we can recover from this territory.
I mean, let's get one thing straight. The program was not in the dirt even from the transition from D'Antonio to Mel Tucker.
No.
It was put in the dirt after what happened with Mel Tucker.
Sure.
And Mel Tucker was
still be
fine.
a third straight coach.
But like but I'm saying, like, the on-field product with what happened before Mel Tucker was not, they weren't going to ever fire him. You know?
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
They were bad. They were bad in that last season. You're right. They were. But at least he had a good year and had a potential to actually, like, go to the Big Ten championship and make the college football playoff that season. So I don't think the program was in the dirt by any means before that. But I get what you're saying. And I think that the issue is, like, it's hard to go hire some prestigious head coach when they're likely going to have to pay this major buyout for Jonathan Smith. And now you're going to go hand out another crazy contract to another head coach? Like, we have to be realistic here. Like, it's already going to take every tooth and nail for them to pay this buyout for Jonathan Smith, and then hiring a new head coach on top of that. That's why a guy like Bullough makes sense, likely cheaper than some, prestigious guy like James Franklin.
Yeah, 1,000% cheaper.
Yeah, and I hate to, take that angle of it, but it is how it's going to go, right? We do have to be realistic about this.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Michigan State's going to be going after guys like Billy Napier.
Right.
Or,
well, yeah. I mean, the dream hire is Brian Hartline from Ohio State. Like, that's to me is the number one guy, but he's going to be in the mix for the Penn State and LSU job.
Right.
Like, that's going to be where he is in the mix for.
And if those schools want him, he's not even going to be considering Michigan State.
Absolutely. He's been in the talk to be a head coach now for years and finally got the call up to even be the OC of Ohio State this past season. Been the wide receivers coach there for a crazy long time.
He's the crazy recruiter, right?
Yes, crazy recruiter, gets all those top guys there, and then obviously we know how good the Ohio State wide receivers all become. Finally became the offensive coordinator this past season, and Ohio State continues to dominate on that side of the football. He will likely get a head coaching job. The Penn State job seems like the one is like all his, basically, if he wants it. That's what the word on the street is. That's the dream hire for Michigan State. Obviously, not going to happen.
So you got to start looking elsewhere. You got to start thinking what's realistic based on the budget, because we're going to be paying Jonathan Smith for the next 5 years anyway. Max Bullough checks all the boxes. Now, whether or not you're comfortable hiring someone that experienced is a totally different question, but it checks all the boxes of what Michigan State needs: culture reset, culture builder, someone that can instill belief into this program again, someone that the Alumni Association and guys who have been around him are going to advocate for. Now, we don't know if he's a good recruiter. We don't know if he knows how to run a football team. One thing that would be very important for him specifically is hiring good assistant coaches and good coordinators. But I think I'm kind of comfortable taking a risk because, I don't know, just in this state alone, we've seen how many teams in the last few years really reestablish themselves as good teams strictly based on the culture.
Right.
I mean, you could argue every team of the pro teams down in Detroit has done that with their most recent head coach hiring, right? Dan Campbell obviously kicks things off with the Lions. AJ Hinch, I think, has installed a pretty good culture. It's not the same, but it's, guys who don't care about their stats, clearly. Guys who believe in each other. Detroit Pistons are back to being like this gritty team, diving on the floor for loose balls, toughness. And then the Wings under McClellan have done the exact same thing. I'm not sure why this would be any different. If you're Michigan State, you're not going to be able to go get the most glamorous head coach that's available out there. So go get someone that you think can kind of out-tough the other team on a week-to-week basis.
I'm with you.
It's old school.
I think that's the culture thing is number one most important. There has to be something rebuilt here with the way that this program has just absolutely been on a tremendous skid. There has to be a rebuild here of establishing that this is a good football program. This is not a bottom feeder of the Big Ten, and that mindset needs to be out the door immediately. Not saying that that's the mindset of the current head coach, but I mean,
no, it's similar to the Kirk Cignetti thing. It's like, you can believe whatever you want about us. We're going to go to the college football playoffs this year.
Right.
And that's exactly, I mean, it's pretty much what they did last year. I know they didn't end up making it in, but
well, no, they were in the playoff last year.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Just got smashed, but so you made it.
Yeah, like this is exactly, like, it's got to be a who cares what everyone else thinks. Like, we're going to show up, do things our way, and it's going to work. Like,
exactly.
You have to have that mindset. Indiana sucked for years.
And you watch Jonathan Smith. I watched his press conference again this week, and it's just, I mean, there's no takeaways from it.
There's no juice.
Because that's exactly, like, does he seem like a nice guy? Sure. Does he seem like a solid dude off the field? Absolutely. Does he seem like the guy that I want in charge to coach a Big Ten football team?
No.
Clearly not.
No. Let me guess. He just stood there in front of the microphone and was like, we got to play better.
We have an opportunity this week to make up for some things, like I understand the situation. It's stuff like that. It's obviously, I mean, you're not expecting him to go up there and be like, yeah, I'm probably going to get fired, so I better do something crazy. Like, you're not expecting him to say something dumb.
This is the worst thing you can do, though, if you're Jay Batt. Just let him continue to go out there and make a fool of the program. Like, this is what we harped about yesterday for the longest time, or maybe it was Monday. Like, every day you let go by, A, you're uninvolved in the coaching search, and B, you're just, like, enabling this is acceptable. You see all these guys, and sometimes you got to take this with a grain of salt, but, like, the Michigan State running back room all are just liking posts about Jonathan Smith should be fired.
I did see that.
It feels like no one wants this guy there, including the players. If you want to put some sort of spark in this team to close out the season, which I think could, maybe get guys to believe that they should stay at Michigan State, then you should make this decision now. Like, what are we waiting for? You just hit a new rock bottom by losing Michigan State.
Like, I bet Jay Batt wants to fire him right now. I
would hope so.
I would assume he does, but the buyout truly is an issue. They're not LSU. They're not Penn State. They can't just fork over $50 million to hand to these guys right now, which is unfortunate.
Call up Magic Johnson. Call up Matt Ishbia. Call up everybody you got to call up to try to get some.
Hey, Tom, I know you just built us this crazy new football facility, but you got any extra dough laying around?
Tom Izzo?
Yeah.
Wasn't that Matt Ishbia that built that thing? It's just named after Izzo?
After him, yeah.
Yeah. Ishbia is the one to call. Like, what do we have to do here? And I think there are some preventative things since he now owns an NBA team.
I believe so, yes.
I don't know what those restrictions are. I'd have to look into it. But he can't just, donate like a normal alum anymore.
Even though I don't know how it works, though, because, Ryan Smith, who owns the Utah Jazz, essentially just funds BYU's entire athletic department. And I don't know what the workaround is there, but it's odd.
Well, BYU might just have some individual things that they can just get away with because it's a religious school. I don't know. I'm just speaking now. All right, we still have our ticket giveaway. Again, you guys have one last chance to text in. I'll pick a winner here shortly. 989-837-6125. Just text in the word coach for a chance to win the Michigan State versus Penn State tickets. Sometime during this commercial break, I'm going to reach out to one of our lucky texters, and we're going to send them home with tickets. So stay tuned. Be on alert for that text message if you are our winner today, and then we'll take a trip around the league when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. Catch you in a second.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Hey, sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Linz ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down, Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay Region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). We have reached out to our winner, so we're waiting for confirmation from them to announce it. Again, if you texted, be on the lookout for a text that says you won. We need a confirmation text. So we'll keep you guys updated. If we don't get a confirmation text at some point, we'll have to pick a new winner. Yeah, check your phone. All right, let's take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
Okay, Ben, it's time to go around the league. Yesterday we did a, quarterback survive in advance, talking about the QBs. What have the QBs been doing this year? What's everybody been doing this year stat-wise? That's what I want to ask you. I'm trying to get you to guess the top 5 of each statistical category. I know you're a fantasy football player. You should know who's been doing good. So we're going to start with passing. I want to get the yards, the touchdowns. We'll move to rushing. We'll move to receiving. We'll go from there.
All right.
Sound like a plan? I'm going to give you 3 strikes for each category, too, because top 5, I mean, you might guess, like, the guys that are at, like, 6 and 7. So, anyways, go for it.
What do you want to start with?
Passing yards, quarterback.
Okay.
Obviously, you got to remember who's had buys and stuff, too. That plays into this.
Yeah, Drake May's definitely on this.
Drake May just sneaks in at number 5. There's only 5 guys with 2,000-plus pass yards, too, so this works out.
Trying to think of players who have not been on the bye yet. Is Mahomes on this?
Mahomes is number 2?
Yeah. Mahomes, Drake May. I don't think Josh Allen would be, but I feel like if I don't guess him, I'm just going to hate myself. So I'll go Josh Allen.
He's not.
He's been on the bye.
He's been on the bye, but even if he didn't have the bye, he's down at number 20, actually. Kind of surprising.
Dak Prescott's definitely on this.
Dak Prescott's number 3, yes. You're just missing number 1 and number 4.
Putting up big yards this year. Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is number 4.
And who is
number
the
1.
leader
Missing
in
number
yards
1.
this season?
This guy's number 1 by a good amount, about 50 pass yards he has the lead by.
Stafford? No, he's been on the bye. I take that back.
Yep, good call, good call. He probably would be in the top 5 without the bye because he's number 7 with the bye.
And AFC, NFC.
This guy's in the AFC, has had a few games this year with like 350 plus.
Herbert?
Justin Herbert,
Yeah.
yes. Nice. Herbert, Mahomes, Prescott, Danny Jones, and Drake May round out your top 5. Do you want to do touchdowns too, or do you just want to skip over to rushing?
Let's skip to rushing.
Okay. Rushing leaders in the NFL.
Jonathan
Yards.
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, number 1, no doubt about it. He's got 100 more yards than number 2.
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson is number 7.
Oh.
He's the
Bad
top
week
guy,
last week.
and he had a bye too. So he's the top dude that's had their bye. So kind of unfortunate there.
Rushing leaders.
This is crazy. There are 250 rushing yards separated between Jonathan Taylor and the number 5 guy. 250. Crazy.
Trying to think. James Cook.
James Cook with the bye is number 2. 753 yards for James Cook. He actually has a higher yards per carry than Jonathan Taylor does.
James Cook. CMC.
CMC is number 13.
Really?
He just gets, he catches like 10 passes a game, too.
Yeah,
so
you're
it's
right.
hard for him to get a ton of rush yards. So you got Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, 1 and 2. I'll give you a hint. There's a couple more J names here in this top 5.
J names. J.K. Dobbins?
J.K. Dobbins is number 3. Isn't that kind of
That's
surprising?
shocking.
Yeah. 634 rushing yards for J.K. Dobbins this year. Cook and Taylor are just killing everyone, by the way. They're just way
Yeah.
above everybody else.
Gibbs, after that crazy game last game, even with the bye, I'm going to guess he's on this.
He's not. He's number 9 with the bye. Pretty tough. Without it, he'd probably be on there.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs, not on here, also had the bye. Also,
scores a lot of
you're right.
touchdowns.
You're in the right area, though. NFC running back with the J. He's also a bit surprising, like a J.K. Dobbins. Like, if I told you at this point at the beginning of the year, this guy's going to be...
Javonte Williams.
Yeah. Javonte Williams, number 4. Number 5 is crazy. It's also in the NFC. This guy is a part of a committee backfield.
Is it Rico Dowdle?
It's Rico Dowdle. Isn't that crazy? Rico Dowdle's 5th in the NFL in rushing.
Yeah,
and he's probably had, 2 true starts?
Yeah, because Chuba was supposed to be the guy, and anyone who has either of those two guys in fantasy is now just kind of stuck in hell because you don't know who's getting the ball on a week-to-week basis. So, yeah, that's ironic.
It is pretty ironic. Jonathan Taylor, by the way, just insane amount more touchdowns than everyone else this season as well. Pretty wild. He's got 15 total touchdowns this season, and I saw that's what Saquon had last year. Total. That's pretty wild. Okay, moving on to receiving yards in the NFL.
Jamar Chase has to be near the top.
Yeah, he's number 2, 720 yards. It's nice when he has 99 targets this season, which
That's
is
ridiculous.
16 more than any other player in the league.
Even with the bye, I think JSN is on this.
With the bye, JSN is number 1 still.
I'm going to say...
Isn't that crazy?
Ooh, here's where we get really... this team has had the bye, and he's been injured a game. But he was so good for the first however many weeks. Is Puka on it?
Smart play, Ben. Puka Nacua, number 4. He's only played 6 games. Everyone else on here has played 7 or 8. He's played 6 games, and he's 4th. So you got 1, 2, and 4. Man, JSN, the season he's having is unreal.
How about Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No, St. Brown. Tough. He had the weaker game against the Chiefs, plus the bye. He's number 9. Christian McCaffrey's above him, by the way, at number 8, which is just crazy McCaffrey's on this list.
He's putting up a lot of yards these days on a week-to-week basis. CD got hurt. A.J. Brown's been booty this year.
Correct.
Nico Collins hasn't quite lived up to it.
He's been injured as well.
Yeah.
Both NFC guys.
How about this? Pickens.
George Pickens, number 3.
Yep.
That's pretty wild. With CeeDee Lamb out, he obviously has taken on a huge role in Dallas. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, just missing number 5.
And it's another NFC guy?
Another NFC guy.
It's not Jefferson, right?
It's NFC guys everywhere. It is Jefferson.
Oh, it is.
602 yards for Justin Jefferson. He's right there at the top.
He's had the bye, but yeah, he's had a couple monster weeks too, so I guess that makes sense.
The wildest part is Devontae Smith is number 6. I don't think I ever would have guessed that in my life.
What? Yeah, no, you could have given me 20 more guesses.
Yeah, I don't think I ever
would
would have guessed that. Igbuka's at 7, so a lot of NFC guys in the mix there. So, yeah, those are your yards leaders. Amon-Ra St. Brown still tied for lead in receiving touchdowns, though.
Should we do – I was going to say, should we start doing touchdowns?
We can, or do you want to go over to defense and do sacks?
Oh, yeah, let's do sacks.
Okay. Defensive sack leaders.
Aidan Hutchinson's got to be in the top 5.
He's not.
Okay. Nick Benito's got to be in the top 5.
Yep, he is. He's 4th with 8 sacks. Hutchinson is 7th, by the way, with 6.
Myles Garrett, after 5 sacks, I'd imagine, has worked his way into this.
Yeah, tied for the top of the NFL with 10 total sacks.
Who else is getting a ton? Is it any of the Giants guys?
There is a Giants guy.
Brian Burns?
Brian Burns is tied with Myles Garrett with 10 sacks. Yes, shout out to John Vicari.
Right.
So you're just missing 3 and 5. Both of them are in the NFC once again.
Micah?
Micah is 6. That's 6.5. But Micah
tied with Hutch.
Micah has a teammate, though, that's in the top 5.
Does he really?
Major hint. Major hint.
Who is it?
It's the man from Michigan. Well, played at Michigan. Rashawn
Gary.
Oh,
Rashawn Gary. Wow.
5th in the NFL with 7.5 sacks.
He's benefiting a lot from, well, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Number 3 is a bit of a sneakier one, an underrated player, also in the NFC. I'm one of the better teams in the NFC.
Seahawks?
Close. Same division.
Niners?
Close.
Rams.
Yes, the Rams.
It's not Jared Verse. He hasn't gotten the sacks.
Yeah, it's not Jared Verse. It's the guy across from him who's been really pretty good this
year.
year.
What's his name?
I can give it to you if you need. It's a tough one.
Go ahead.
Byron Young.
Yep, that's it.
Yes, rocket number 0 on the Rams. He's got 9 sacks. So that's your top 5 in sacks.
Amazing. You got any more?
I mean, if you want to do interceptions, we can, but that's pretty tough.
No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you want to rip off touchdowns or picks. Ooh, interceptions? You want to go interceptions?
Who's thrown the most interceptions?
Yeah. I think you could get these. This is pretty funny.
Flacco.
Joe Flacco is 5th, yes, with 6 picks.
Part of me wants to say Dak just because he throws the ball so much, but I don't think he's on there.
He does have 5 picks, though. He's right behind them, but it's not Dak.
Jared Goff hasn't thrown 6
There's 2 guys that have thrown
interceptions.
double-digit picks this year. Both on terrible teams, which, of course,
Bryce Young?
Makes a ton of sense. Not Bryce Young, actually. He has thrown 5.
Spencer Rattler?
Nope.
Oh, Cam Ward.
He's got 6. He's tied with Flacco. So that's another guy.
Tua.
Tua has 10 picks, yes.
Yeah.
And then also in the AFC, terrible team in the AFC. This guy's been really booty this year.
Geno,
yes, 10 picks. And then the last guy has been benched. Only played in 4
Russell
games
Wilson.
Through 8 picks. Not Russell Wilson. Bench for a guy who was also on this list, though.
Is it Dylan Gabriel?
No, it's Jake Browning.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. All right, 989-837-6125. Our winner has replied, congratulations to Seth. You are going to the Michigan State game a week from Saturday against Penn State. Again, congratulations to Seth, who is our winner for Big Win Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet. We'll give away more Michigan Penn State tickets. Hold on, Michigan State Penn State tickets next week for our Big Win Wednesday giveaway as well. So if you didn't win today, don't worry. Giving away more stuff tomorrow, or next Wednesday, and the following Wednesday, and the following Wednesday, because this is a year-round thing. All right, we'll take a quick timeout, come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for awards members this month. It's October, so savings on all things spooky. $9.99 for an 100-count Halloween LED light string pack. And get those ghostly vibes with a giant glowing ghost inflatable, $99.99. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And get ahead of the cold. Ace brand winterizer, just $16.99.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh? Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at premiertilestone.com.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Every Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
Back-to-back weeks, we are giving away tickets to Spartan Stadium. November 15th, it is Penn State versus Michigan State in East Lansing, and thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we're sending you home with tickets, but you have to be listening to the Ben Bosscher Show for a chance to win. Again, that is Big Win Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet here on the Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the MyPros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness now, I think it's been probably 4 years.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
I'm right there, coming.
Trick or treat.
Hello, children. I'm sorry. I forgot to go buy candy this year. Hey, don't be rude, okay? I'm forgetful. You're just mean. Now, hold on. I do have these 8x10 glossies of Bill Simonson and Anthony Bellino. Happy Halloween from the Great Lake Basin's home for sports. 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat. From Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, let's do something fun here. I like to call it the Detroit Power Poll. The Detroit Power Poll, where we rank the top 4 teams in Detroit. Number 1 I still have is the Detroit Lions. I think this is the most likely team that can win a championship in the next caliber year. It goes without saying. Number 2, I think still has to be the Tigers by default because they've won a playoff series, because they've been back-to-back playoff appearances in the last 2 years. Do we feel great about how the season ended? No. Do we think that they are a little bit more of the team that they were in the second half than they were in the first half? Yes. But the accolades are there, even though there hasn't been any banners hung or anything. I still think this is firmly second place. This is where it gets interesting, though. Number 3 and number 4. Because for the longest time, it has been Pistons 3. Not the longest time, I guess the last year. It's been Pistons 3 with a playoff appearance and playing like a top 10 team for the second half of last year, having an all-star. And the Red Wings 4. But because of the 7-3 start that the Wings have had, and because there's been some concerns about this Pistons team, I think those two have flipped. I think it has to go Red Wings 3, Pistons 4 for the time being. And that's not even a diss on the Pistons as much as it is, hey, the Red Wings are playing really good right now, and if the Pistons are the 4th best team for the city, that means the city is playing extremely well right now as a whole for all 4 teams. I've expressed some of my red flags about this Pistons team with no Jaden Ivey right now. It's funny because they didn't have Jaden Ivey when they went on the run last year, but they need him more than ever right now because they'd elected to let Dennis Schroeder walk, and Malik Beasley's not on the team anymore, and this team just doesn't really have another ball handler creator outside of Cade Cunningham because they relied on Jaden Ivey to get healthy and be an impact player this season, and obviously he's not playing right now. So I think because of that, the Pistons kind of have to be 4 right now based on how the Wings are playing with this 7-3 start, the best start they've had since 2010.
Man, it just feels tough to put the Pistons at 4.
It's tough,
right?
It's quick. It was a quick.
Can we just
flip.
put the Tigers at 4 since we're still mad at them or whatever? Can we do that?
No, they have to be 2.
Yeah, I know.
They want a playoff series.
I know. I think it just matters on how much are you taking when you're doing Wings versus Pistons, because I agree with you that seems like the debate here. How much are you taking into consideration the full last calendar year compared to how the first 10 games or whatever have gone for the Red Wings? And obviously the Pistons have only played 4, but how much is that being considered here? Obviously a lot, right, to have the Wings over the Pistons?
Yeah. Yeah, and if the Pistons were to win one of those games,
because the Pistons
does that
obviously
flip?
last year tripled their win total. They go to the playoffs. They fought hard in a playoff series against a team that a lot of people view as the best team in the Eastern Conference this season. And the Wings obviously have not made the playoffs in X amount of years.
Yeah.
You know?
The second longest drought in the history of the franchise.
Yeah, but they're off to a great start. So I think that obviously plays into this. It outweighs the previous season for you, which is fine. I just kind of I was interested by that.
Yeah, I feel like this Red Wings thing is so real though, based on the teams that they've beaten. Like they went on that 5-game win streak where all the teams that they beat were playoff teams from a season ago, whether it was the Lightning or the Panthers or the Oilers, or the Leafs. They racked up a bunch of wins early on. It's like, hey, is this real? And then they lose 2 in a row, but then now they're back to winning again. So it's like, I have a hard time believing that this isn't, and I think a part of it is because of Emmett Finney, who's just been a stud since the second he stepped on the ice. Looks like one of the best rookies in hockey again. Larkin's playing with a little extra juice this year, and they've been missing Raymond and Kane for most of the season too. At least one of those guys, it feels like, hasn't really been in the lineup. Like, how many games have they been fully healthy? 2. So it feels like they are legitimately in contention to end this playoff drought for the first time in a long time. For the first time in, what has it been, 9 years? 10 years? So since 16. So yeah, basically a full decade. So this is a really important season for them, not only for the Red Wings, but like for Detroit in general. The Wings getting back to the playoffs means all 4 teams are playoff teams. Like, as much as I have shown concerns about the Pistons this season, they're going to be a playoff team. And if all 4 teams in Detroit can be a playoff team, like there's not a lot of cities that are going to be able to say that.
Which is awesome. And that's what makes this so tough to do a ranking, because you have to put somebody last. And it feels like none of these teams deserve to be last, correct? Like it feels like all 4 of them are like, it's almost like a diss putting one of them fourth, because they all potentially could be playoff teams, which is totally awesome.
Yeah.
But the Pistons being fourth, I mean, that has a lot to do with just the shakiness of the start to this season. I don't think it's been completely all bad, but there's also reason to have concern. There's reason to also be optimistic, because the Eastern Conference is extremely weak. They seem like they're going to be at least one of the more solid teams in it, and they have one of the better players in the entire conference as well. For the Red Wings side of things, they went off to an extremely hot start, and they've beaten, like you said, a lot of really good teams without Lucas Raymond. And I think returning him is only obviously going to make things better. So there's a case
he's
for
already
either,
back.
Well, but I'm saying they've done it without Lucas Raymond.
Right.
Like they've won games without him. And so there's a case to be made for each team to be third. I think there is a case for the Tigers to drop a little bit just because of like maybe what's to come, but we can't really predict that.
We can't move them down in the offseason, though. Unless it's
what if they
Pistons
traded Skubal and lost Glaber Torres?
Then they're dead last and will never be anything but.
I mean, I think that's fair to move them down if that happens, right?
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I mean, if that's the way the Tigers offseason goes, then what's even the point of going into next year excited? They got rid of the star on the team. After they just went to an ALDS, like, God, that would be
detrimental.
And it would be, detrimental would be an understatement. That would be a knife, a dagger to the heart of every single Tigers fan that exists. That is the route for them to drop.
Okay,
Until then, they're kind of
right.
protected.
Speaking of them being protected, what's the world where, or is there one where the Lions aren't number one? Is it got to be a Lions thing, or is it got to be a Wings thing?
No, they're
like
one
if the Wings
until
were top of the league until the All-Star break, is that, or is it still just not enough because of the Lions' history and how good they've been the last X amount of years?
I think
And
the
have done it in
Lions
the
are just
playoffs?
kind of locked into that one spot.
Yeah, I think that's completely
Nothing
fair.
like the Wings would have to dominate for it to even be a conversation, and I don't think I would be ready to have that until February.
Right, but
at
we
the
also,
earliest.
I mean, there was a point at this past season where you put the Tigers above the Lions.
Yeah, but yes, but the Lions also weren't playing. You know what I mean?
True.
Like the Lions are going to be in the playoffs. I feel great about them moving forward with all their guys coming back from injury. Like they are an awesome team. And the fact that they're working against each other, the Wings and the Lions, makes me think, okay, I don't know if it's possible. Other than the Lions falling apart, which I think is just not going to happen. I just don't see anybody passing the Lions anytime soon.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and honestly, like this Pistons Wings thing is going to be fun because for the first time in a really long time, they have two really good winter teams here in Detroit, where the Wings and Pistons are both looking like they're going to have semi-successful seasons. So this is a fun winter to look forward to, and it's all the more reason to think that the Detroit sports teams are kind of back. You know, how many cities can say all 4 teams made it to the playoffs? Not a lot. In the same calendar year. Not a lot.
Not especially just the teams that have 4 rather than like the
Yes.
New Yorks and Chicagos that have extras.
Yeah, those cities are a little different. This is impressive. Like this is the best year of Detroit sports I think we've had in a really long time if the Wings can hold on to this thing. You know?
I'm trying to think. Boston has a chance, but the Bruins aren't very good. Obviously the Celtics are usually a playoff team. They might not be this year. The Red Sox made it last year. The Patriots will likely make it. But the Bruins are probably going to be the team that cancels that. There isn't many other teams that have 4 either. That's kind of the fun part. You either you're missing one or you have extras.
Right. Miami only has 3, right?
Miami has only got 3.
Does Houston have 4?
Houston does not have
No,
a hockey
they don't have a
team.
hockey team.
Pittsburgh does not have a basketball team. Philly's got 4, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Philly's got 4.
Flyers are no good though.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say that cancels it. There's one team that always ruins it. That's what makes your poll so difficult because there isn't just an automatic last place team. There's an automatic first place team, but that's what makes things fun, and it shows what great spot the city's in sports-wise.
Yeah. It's been fun to watch. 989-837-6125. Once again, shout out to Seth for taking home the Michigan State tickets. He is our winner this week. For our Big Win Wednesday giveaway, we'll give more tickets away the following Wednesday, but we still got some stuff to get to. I want to revisit the conversation we had earlier on regarding the NFL trade deadline that is coming up. We're 6 days away from that. What the Detroit Lions are going to do remains a question mark. Are they going to be aggressive buyers? Are they going to be soft buyers? I think those are the only two options, right? If you want to start trying to suggest that they're going to be sellers or just not do anything, look, we can entertain it, but I don't think that's very likely. It feels like eventually they're going to buy. It's just a matter of how aggressive are they going to be when they do decide to buy. And history has shown Brad Holmes is not really willing to be that guy who's all in ever. It's been, 4 deadlines now that Brad Holmes has kind of just either sold or softly bought. And I think that's kind of the method that they're going to be taking this season. So I'll tell you who I think the Lions should add to the roster based on that when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live on a Wednesday here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Hi, I know it's late, but I just had a fender bender, and I wasn't sure who to call.
You did the right thing. At Aidan Insurance, we're here for you 24/7, day or night, weekday or weekend. You'll always get a real person ready to help. Backed by Auto Owners Insurance.
Life doesn't happen on a 9-to-5 schedule, and neither does Yider. With trusted partners like Auto Owners, whether it's a claim, a question about coverage, or just peace of mind, you can count on us anytime you need us.
Yider Insurance, your friends in the insurance business. Always on, always here for you.
Transform your outdoor space with Maple Hill Nursery. Whether you're a gardening enthusiast or just looking to relax in style, they have everything you need. From premium polywood furniture that never needs painting to top-quality plants and trees, Maple Hill Nursery has it all. Plus, they offer free setup and delivery on in-stock barbecue grills. Visit them today just north of Midland Mall or check out their website for pro tips and expert advice. Maple Hill Nursery, making your yard the place to be.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. I'm Kevin Spencer, an Edward Jones financial advisor here in Midland. Let's work together on an investment strategy for long-term results. While you can't control market volatility, you can control your financial future.
Call Kevin Spencer, your local Edward Jones financial advisor in Midland, 989-832-8428, or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When you want NFL football on the radio.
It is another defensive touchdown. Wow, he got hammered, dude.
You know where to turn.
Let's go. Come on.
This week is no different.
Somebody go make a play. We can never lose our competitiveness.
Thursday night football is here.
Ravens and Dolphins, the final NFL game in October. Baltimore looking for their first road win. Coverage at 7:30, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Right here on Sports Radio 100.9, The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back in to the show. 11 o'clock hour here on 100.9 The Mitt. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live every day on YouTube and Facebook as well. You guys can go like and subscribe there for our support, I guess, and for your own doing. You can get notified when we go live at 9 o'clock every single day. So Love to see that subscriber count go up throughout the course of the week. All right, let's get back to the trade deadline, because I think the Lions, when it comes to this trade deadline, are going to be soft buyers. I think that much is obvious based on the history that Brad Holmes has done, whether it was bringing in Donovan Peoples-Jones, which obviously didn't work out, bringing in Zadarius Smith, which I think was an awesome trade. I know that, in the long run didn't end up working out with what happened this year, but I thought he served his purpose as the Lions' lone edge rusher for the second half of that season. But this season, there's not necessarily a glaring need for this Detroit Lions team. It feels like everything is just kind of a cherry on top. And the place that I would want a cherry on top more than anything would probably be the defensive line. Double down on your strengths and make sure that you are one of the best run-stopping teams in the NFL. That's what you want your identity to be. Right now, you rank 11th in yards per rush, opponent yards per rush. Go make that a top 5 unit, and I think the way you do that is go finding a guy to fit the culture. Go finding a guy that can help stop the run, and I think that person is Cam Jordan, who Dan Campbell was with when he was with New Orleans. Cam Jordan's one of those guys. It's Walter Payton Man of the Year, stand-up character, one of these highly regarded people in the NFL, not just a football player, who's obviously past his prime at 35, 36 years old, but still grades out as one of the best run-stopping edge rushers in the NFL. Why the Lions wouldn't try to bring that guy in, I don't know. They have their pass rusher in Muhammad for third and long situations, but if you're in a third and short or a first down situation, Cam Jordan would be my preferred guy to get, and he's got 2 sacks this year too. So I think this is kind of a perfect fit in every scenario, every aspect, checks every box, whether it's culture, run defense, does he fit what the Lions are trying to do? The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Bring this guy in. Call Mickey Loomis, the Saints GM, and let's get this thing done, because I don't think it's going to cost a whole lot.
I agree. We discussed this earlier. The only issue that you have here is the legacy that Cam Jordan has with New Orleans. We saw it with, we had it firsthand with a guy like Calvin Johnson in Detroit. I mean, obviously a much different situation, but it's just a guy you don't want to trade from your team that's played for your team his entire career. And I assume that himself probably would rather finish things out in New Orleans. I don't know I haven't looked up any research on when he's expected to retire. Would it shock anyone if he retired at the end of this season? Probably not. Nonetheless, this is just a quick rental for the Lions to have the rest of the season. And I'm with you on that. I think it makes a ton of sense because this front office has proven that they're not going to go out and make some stupid major trade at the trade deadline, or just in general, they're not going to make some major trade anyways. They value their draft picks too highly, which you can feel a certain type of way about that.
When you hit on as many draft picks
Right.
as Brad Holmes does, though, I'm okay with it.
That's what I was just going to say. I mean, you can feel a way about that in baseball with Scott Harris and the Tigers front office. With Detroit and Brad Holmes, they nail the draft. These guys are they come out, and we would be upset if they moved picks because of how good they are in the draft. So I'm completely fine with it. That's where I did want to ask you as far as your opinion on the trade deadline, because I know 2 years ago you really felt like, man, they needed to make an all-in move to go get a defensive player. All they did was get Donovan Peoples-Jones, and it didn't work out. Last year was a bit of the opposite. I know you felt great about the Zadarius Smith trade. It was a low-risk, buy low type of guy to get Zadarius Smith, and he was good as a Lion. I think that people kind of just forget. He was a good player for the Lions when he was on the field.
He was great.
Yeah. So this year, soft buy seems like the play, but are you going to be upset if they really don't do anything?
Yeah, I would be. If you're going to, you got to soft buy. You got to at least try to add someone to this roster.
1 second, Ben. We got breaking news. Major breaking news here on the Ben Bosscher Show. The Lions and star edge rusher Aidan Hutchinson have agreed to terms on a 4-year mega extension, reported by Ian Rappaport just now, Ben. We've been waiting on this for so long. 4-year extension. We don't have a number yet. Adam Schefter as well just tweeted it out. Let's go! Hutch got paid, baby.
Oh my God! This is the Ali McNeil move that they did in the middle of the season last year. This is what we've all been waiting for. Micah Parsons still has not been. No, Micah Parsons did get the $40 million. So if Aidan Hutchinson's deal is what I think it is, I think it's just shy of that. I think it's like $39 million a season for the next 4 years. Whether or not they pick up the 5th-year option is definitely going to be a question mark too. I'd imagine we have some actual details and some numbers on it. by the end of the show. Oh, man.
Let's go.
Out of nowhere.
Man, I mean, it sucks that we got that news with an hour left in the show and we
What do you
can't
mean?
talk about it. But
We got a whole hour to talk about this.
That's a good point. We
I
got a
just
whole
want the
hour.
numbers to come out. I'm
Right.
guessing it's $39 million for 4 seasons. But whether or not they're going to pick up the 5th-year option, I think is interesting because is it technically
middle of the year, huh? And I mean, it's interesting, you know?
They've done this multiple times,
Right.
though. This is what they did with Aleem McNeil. That was kind of out of the blue. I don't know. Hey, this is what your front office did during the bye week. This is what your front office did during the bye week. They got in the room with Aidan Hutchinson and locked him up for 4 years. All it took was him dressing up as 11 in that Halloween costume, and boom, it's
They're
done.
like, you know what? That was such a good costume. We're going to pay you.
You're here. You're here for the time being. Wow. This is out of nowhere. That's the only way. This is out of nowhere. So, Aidan Hutchinson, I think he's probably about to be the second highest paid edge rusher in the NFL. If he passed Micah
There's
Parsons,
no way it's the Myles Garrett deal, obviously.
What do you mean?
I'm saying, that's why he's second highest paid.
You think
agreeing
it's
with
more than the Myles Garrett?
No,
deal.
I'm saying there's no way it's the Myles Garrett deal. Like, Myles Garrett is for sure paid more.
Isn't Micah Parsons tops it at $40 million though, doesn't he? Or am I getting my numbers mixed up?
I thought Garrett was the highest paid, but I guess I could be wrong.
Hold on. I have this in my notes somewhere because when we talked about this basically every day leading up to the season. Okay, if we're talking average per year basis, Micah Parsons $46 million, TJ Watt $41 million, Myles Garrett $40 million. I think he's going to get close to the $46 million. I thought Micah was the 40 for some reason. So I think Aidan Hutchinson's going to be somewhere between $40 and $46 million. I think he's going to get more than TJ Watt. So I think this is like $45 million a year, and suddenly he's one of the highest paid non-quarterbacks in the NFL. I just want the numbers to come out.
Nothing just quite yet.
You think he's going to get more? You don't think he's going to get the Myles Garrett deal?
I was getting the deals confused, so.
I think he's going to get more than TJ Watt and Myles Garrett. And it's just going to be the only person that's getting more money is Micah Parsons. But I love that this is how the Lions were able to be productive during the trade deadline. The fact that, or during the bye week, like this was clearly a priority for them to get done, and they've been working on this for a long time. I don't know what finally got them over the edge this week, but Aidan Hutchinson, it's not like this was ever a question of whether or not it was going to get done. It was just trying to beat some other guys to the market. They weren't able to do that because TJ Watt and Micah Parsons both got paid before him. So Aidan Hutchinson kind of is the winner here. I just want to see what this number is, right? I want to see how much guaranteed money this is gonna be. Aidan Hutchinson leads the NFL in pressures, by the way. So this is a new trend. Like,
right.
And Micah Parsons is second. So I think the two highest paid guys in the NFL are going to be first and second in pressures. This is how you impact games. It's not just all about the sacks. The pressures matter. I know people got pissed at Hutchinson a couple of years back when he was getting all these pressures but not landing home. He lands home now enough to where it doesn't matter. But the pressures, the amount that he is, the amount that Aidan Hutchinson is causing the quarterback to just kind of freak out, even when he doesn't get them down and get the stat of the sack, it's enough to make an impact, and it's enough to get him paid, clearly. I just want the numbers to come out.
I know. We're just waiting on this.
How long ago did this happen?
4 minutes ago. Like, as soon as I was just, because I was looking something up about Cam Jordan, and I got the Twitter notification as it came through. So this is pretty big breaking news. But, yeah, I mean, I do you think this is something that preseason they planned on doing during the year? Like, this is something that kind of developed throughout the season. They just weren't really worried about it? Because we talked about this, obviously, all offseason. Like, when was this coming? When was this going to happen? Did they want to wait out to make sure that the injury wasn't going to affect his play too much?
No, I think this is probably something they've been working on all season long.
Right.
And it just so happened that they finally were able to come to an agreement on it. I don't know why this was it. I think the bye had a lot to do with this. Of, hey, we don't have football this week. Let's get this done. Like, let's make it a priority for both of us to get this done. And now it's finally becoming public. And Justin Rogers already has a story written on this, which makes me think he kind of knew that this was going to happen. So it's just a matter of like when we were all going to find out.
Get announced. Rappaport beating Schefter on it, though. No surprise.
Well, the first guy on it was the agent.
Yeah, but I don't care about that.
Well, I'm just saying the first guy to do it was Mike McCartney, which is Hutchinson's agent. He just said, congrats, Aidan Hutchinson, agreeing to a 4-year extension with the Detroit Lions. I think he's the first guy on it. which is weird because usually they go through the insiders like Schefter and Rappaport, but I think it just came straight from the source today. All right, let's take a timeout. I want to collect my thoughts on this, and I want to see if we can get some numbers on what this is. But yeah, Hutchinson is a paid man. Hutchinson is here for the long haul now with a 4-year extension. I think this is probably going to make him the second highest paid edge rusher in the NFL, if not the first, only behind Myles Garrett. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, live right here on 100.9 The Mitt. The 11 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Aidan Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Aidan Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Aidan has the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. Aidan Insurance Group, they'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Since 1940, Aidan Insurance Group has been a trusted friend to generations of your neighbors in the Great Lakes Bay region and across the country. Proudly representing auto owners insurance, we're licensed in nearly every state, so no matter where life takes you, we got you covered. And because we're an independent insurance agent, we don't believe in one size fits all. We work for you to find coverage that fits your life, your family, and your business. That's why families and businesses have relied on Aidan Insurance and auto owners for peace of mind. Aidan Insurance Group, local roots, national reach, and always your friend in the insurance business.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. It's October, so savings on all things spooky. $9.99 for an 100-count Halloween LED light string pack. And get those ghostly vibes with a giant glowing ghost inflatable, $99.99. Select Milwaukee Power Tools, buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. And get ahead of the cold. Ace brand winterizer, just $16.99.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Sharon Mortensen, President and CEO of the Midland Area Community Foundation.
It's a group of people that come together to learn about and to provide input on things happening in our community. So our next upcoming time that we're together, we're talking about law enforcement. We're going to have our prosecutor and our sheriff and our police chief talking about what they're doing and then getting input from the group. So that's a wonderful way for people to come and learn and share their ideas. We've also partnered with the Midland Business Alliance on the My Pros Community Crowd Fund, which started, goodness, now I think it's been probably 4 years ago.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, so still no numbers on this Aidan Hutchinson deal. But what we do know is that he is going to be a Lion here for the next 4 seasons. Aidan Hutchinson has been one of the best edge rushers in the NFL this season, and I think if we're talking from a narrative perspective, this probably helps his Defensive Player of the Year case, right? It's like, yeah, he got paid in the middle of the year too. Right. He was so good. Near the top of the NFL and not quite top 5 in sacks, but leads the league in pressures, which he kind of just has done for the last 2 years. He didn't lead the league in pressures last year, but he's pacing to get 170 pressures, and the record's 105. So he had a dominant season before he ended up landing on the IL or the IR and getting hurt. And he's picked that up and been just as good, if not even better, this season. Again, top of the NFL in pressures. I really want to know what these numbers are. I really want to know if he got paid more than Micah Parsons ended up getting paid.
It's so hard to feel like he did, right? Because it just with the Micah situation, it's a little bit different because he was traded for. So if you're trading for him, you're willing to give him basically whatever you want, you know? And so obviously Hutchinson we all knew he was going to get paid by the Lions. It was just when and how much. We're still waiting on the how much. We know when now, which is awesome. So yeah, I think your prediction is right. Probably somewhere in the low 40s, right? Just underneath that Micah Parsons number.
Yeah, mid to low 30s, I think would be the move here. And I'm not going to be mad about it at all. Just lock this guy up. And the only thing I'm mad about is that it didn't happen sooner, because if you were to have done it sooner, you could have saved a couple $1 million in a year. But obviously, this is a huge win for Aidan Hutchinson's camp. I just want to know the number so I can actually tell you what I think about this. But this is of course ultimately a good thing, no matter what the number is, that he is a paid man. Of
course, Shams just has to toss out a tweet that nobody cares about in the middle of this. You know, when I'm refreshing my Twitter notifications.
What'd he say?
Just that Rozier and Chauncey Billups aren't going to be paid while their investigation is going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, awesome. Cool. What about Hutchinson, though? You got anything on that, Shams?
No. Oh, my God, man. How long until we find these numbers out? Because I'm just going to sit here and drive myself nuts if we get to new. You know what's going to happen? I already know what's going to happen. At 12:05, when the show is done, we're going to get the numbers.
No, we'll get it. We'll get it before the end of the show. I would be shocked if we don't, right? I mean, these guys had to be on it. These reporters, right? Maybe we get it from a Detroit guy first.
So this is now 6. Actually, Aidan Hutchinson will be the 7th player that Brad Holmes has drafted that is going to get a major extension.
Awesome.
Penei Sewell, Ali McNeil, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derek Barnes, Kirby Joseph, and now Jameson Williams, and now Aidan Hutchinson. So that's actually 8, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 7. Hutchinson will be the 7th player to get a contract extension that Brad Holmes has drafted here. We talk about not being all in at the trade deadline because he's good at drafting. Here's the evidence of it. Everyone that he drafts, or 7 of the guys that he drafts, he's comfortable giving the money to, and every single one of those guys has earned it. The only one that it's like, are we sure we should have given him the money, is the JMO one.
Right.
But I'm like, we're so early into that I don't think there's any reason to panic quite yet about that contract. Doesn't look great right now. But it's fine.
He also just does what they want him to do. Like, he still does a lot of the things that he's earning that contract up to with the blocking and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not worried about that either.
So for anyone that's into the super advanced stuff, how players grade out on PFF, Aidan Hutchinson, this is stuff that I always like to look at because this is where I get the information on the pressures, which, again, Aidan Hutchinson's just at the top of the league every single year at this sort of stuff. The exact number of pressures that Aidan Hutchinson has this season is, I want to say 48, which is 6 more than anyone else, even though he's played 1 less game than a lot of these guys that are at the top of the list. So the 48 pressures, the pass rush grade of 92.6 is second in the NFL, only behind Micah Parsons, which I think is kind of ironic there. The defensive grade in general is 92.2, which is second only behind Micah Parsons. If he ends up getting paid more than Micah Parsons, are you going to be a little salty about it? I think I might be just a little bit like, did we really have to? Did we really have to pay him more than Aidan Hutchinson? Like, I don't think he's a better player than him.
I feel like I'm going to be more salty at Jerry Jones if that happens. Like, thanks for causing this, Jerry Jones. You delayed this Hutchinson thing, and then obviously the Green Bay had to essentially overpay him because they wanted to trade for him. So, and he didn't really want to leave Dallas. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I would maybe be a little bit like, that kind of stinks, but I'm not going to be mad about it. Like, at the end of the day, I would rather him be paid over anything else, over any other scenario of us this looming into the offseason next year and anything. So I'm cool with it.
He still has, well, depending on what you look at, like it can be 6.5 or 7 sacks. There's no half sacks on PFF, so I just have him listed as 7 sacks right now, only behind Myles Garrett, Byron Young, Nick Bonito, Brian Burns, and Aidan Hutchinson. Aidan Hutchinson's also due pretty soon, I think, for one of those games where he just has 3 sacks. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was this week against Minnesota. That's had a struggling offensive line. They've allowed the 4th most sacks in the NFL this season. So this actually could be one of those games where it's like, hey, Hutchinson got paid earlier this week. He's going to ball out and show exactly why and pick up 3 to 4 sacks in a single game and kind of be that superstar dominant guy that we've seen Aidan Hutchinson be in the past. Because I'm not going to say it's been a quiet couple of weeks. He just didn't have a sack last week, which was like shocking. Because he had a sack week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. And then week 7 was the first time he didn't have one since week 1. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a 3-sack performance, which would be a season high and a career tied for the best in his career.
And it's against his homeboy, J.J. McCarthy.
Yes.
A little bit of extra motivation there.
Aidan Hutchinson is now like the biggest star going into that matchup. Now that he's been paid, he's going up against a quarterback that he played against.
Ooh, I don't know. It's got to be Justin Jefferson, though, right?
Well, just for this week. It's like Hutchinson's fresh off the contract. He's trying to sack the quarterback that he was teammates with in college. Like, this is all going to be about Aidan Hutchinson with the trade deadline looming as well. I think Sunday is like a Aidan Hutchinson shoved down your throat on TV. And I'm fine with it. Feed me all the Hutchinson information I can get. I just want to know how much money he got.
Please tell us.
And by the way, in that game where he had 0 sacks against Tampa, he had 12 pressures. That's
12 is insane.
That's abnormal, guys. Like, for anyone who doesn't track this stuff, 12 pressures is absolutely ludicrous. Ludicrous. That's not a normal thing that NFL edge rushers do, to be able to pressure a quarterback as much as Aidan Hutchinson does on a down-to-down basis. Also,
here we go. Adam Schefter
we got the
reporting
numbers.
4-year, $180 million extension that includes $141 million guaranteed.
That's $45 a year. That's exactly what I predicted. He got the Micah Parsons deal, $1 million less. So he's the second highest paid edge rusher in the NFL now.
And it's the most guaranteed money, correct? I believe Micah Parsons' guaranteed was $136.
Yes.
So most guaranteed money at the 141, yeah, $45 million a year, so just under the Parsons number, above Watt and Garrett, like you predicted. There we go.
How much guaranteed did you say it was?
141. That's reported by now Rappaport and Schefter.
That's the highest guaranteed
136
of any
was,
edge rusher.
Micah.
Is that going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history then for guaranteed money?
I would think so. The only other guys could be the wide receivers, right? Yeah, wide receivers, nobody comes close. Most guaranteed money is Jefferson at 110.
So, yeah, Hutchinson's, in terms of the guaranteed total money, is about to be the highest paid edge rusher.
Yeah, he is now.
In the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL.
Yep. Yeah, not even close. Mike is the only guy that comes close to that number. Shout out to Hutch, man. Let's give a round of applause for Aidan Hutchinson, huh?
Give a round of applause for Brad Holmes for finally getting this thing done. And it's still less than the Micah Parsons deal. You're right.
Thanks, Brad.
This one's a lot on Jerry Jones because Micah got paid just such a ridiculously high number because the previous high was $41 million, and that was TJ Watt. And then Micah Parsons out of nowhere gets the $46 million average. And now Aidan Hutchinson sitting right below that at $45 million. I think this is somewhat of a win-win. Right, it was going to cost a ton, $40 million, north of $40 million, no matter what. Hutchinson wasn't going to sign that until he got on the field. I think this was more of a Hutchinson waiting and betting on himself to outperform like a $40 million number than it was Brad Holmes being like, well, you got to prove it, because all it did was cost Brad Holmes $5 million, I think, per season. So for Hutchinson, I think he wins this. Hutchinson wins the deal, but at the end of the day, it's a win for the Lions that you got him under contract, and you didn't have to wait a following offseason to do it. Not that I think anyone this offseason would have competed to get that $46+ million, but now this is the new standard. Anyone who's due up for a contract, whether it's Will Anderson or Jared Verse down the line, it's going to be north of that. So Hutchinson is now the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history for guaranteed money. Feels good. Feels good to have the hometown kid back under contract for the foreseeable future. The Lions have their core. Aidan Hutchinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell. I always think of those guys as like, there's a lot of guys in the core, but those guys are the guys that have established this culture. After that, it's J-Mo now. He's been paid. It's Kirby Joseph, who's been paid. It's Ali McNeil, who's been paid. Derek Barnes, who's been paid. And then you get into the guys that haven't, like, I said J-Mo. And then you get into guys who haven't, like Brian Branch and Jameer Gibbs, which we think are probably the next guys. Brian Branch more so, right? Laporta, maybe. Jack Campbell, I think, is probably the next guy to get paid.
Guys you got to pay.
I think Jack Campbell's the most likely guy to get paid next. He's having an outstanding season.
Over Branch, you think?
Yes. It costs less, too. That's mostly why. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh, no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy Siding and Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
We got a game, boys! This week on Sunday Night Football.
The Washington Commanders host the Seattle Seahawks in an NFC clash. Seattle's 5-2 and 3-0 on the road. Commanders are in a free fall, dropping their last 3. Coverage at 7:30 Sunday night, presented by Ace Hardware, downtown Midland.
Don't miss a moment right here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters? Yeah. 100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today. and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, I'm kind of just now wrapping my head around the guaranteed money aspect of this. This is significantly more than everyone else has gotten. So Hutchinson's going to be making $1 less million per season than Micah Parsons. But in terms of the guaranteed money, he's going to be guaranteed, it was $141 million per season. Or I'm sorry, he's guaranteed straight up $141 million. That is $5 million more than Micah Parsons right now. So he's getting $5 million more guaranteed dollars. And if you're talking like, hey, like who was behind that? Myles Garrett, 123, Nick Bosa, 122. Aidan Hutchinson's all the way up at 141. That is a significant jump for the guaranteed money. Now, the highest paid in terms of the guaranteed money player in the NFL that's not a quarterback. That is a lot.
It's a lot, and it blows out every other position as well. Like you think of, we always kind of group together the edge rushers and the wide receivers as like the next most valuable position behind quarterback. None of the wide receiver guaranteed money is even close to this. 110 is the highest with Justin Jefferson. The offensive tackles, some of those guys are really high, but they're not even quite into triple digits. Like this is, and like you said, the gap between Parsons and the next guy is large. It's over a $15 million difference. So this is, I mean, obviously we're not going to complain about it, but man, he got the duffel bag. The guaranteed money, we can talk about the per year salary or whatever, but once again, this is one of those things that we're going to look at in 2 years when some other guys are getting paid. When a Jared Verse gets paid a year from now, Ben, like he is going to get a similar deal to this just from how good he has been with the Rams. This is just going to be one of those things that we look back at and it was like, man, what a crazy deal that was at the time. And in 3 years, he'll be the 5th highest paid edge rusher in the league, you know?
Yes, I hope it's similar to that Jared Goff deal. To where like, hey, like
which quarterback is a little bit different, right? I mean, everybody gets paid if you're a quarterback.
Right.
Edge rushers, like the top guys, get paid this type of money. Whereas QBs, if you're just a solid starter, you're going to get whatever the max is.
Yeah, I don't know if Jared Verse actually like is going to qualify for this giant contract with the season he's having.
I was just saying, like, depending on if he continues to rise as a really good edge rusher in this league, young guy.
Right. I'm blown away. This is so Brad Holmes. This is so on brand of Brad Holmes to just sign a guy on a random Wednesday before practice, right out of the bye. This team was productive during the bye week, clearly. How many meetings do you think they sat down, Brad Holmes, Aidan Hutchinson, and his agent throughout the course of the week when they were off?
That's a great question because I don't know if this was I wonder if this was just something that was planned to happen in this time, you know? Like
I don't think it was.
I don't know either, but I mean we can't predict that. We have no idea, you know? And so that's what makes me interested in all of this. I think the big part is like obviously the guaranteed money is whatever you think about it. Aidan Hutchinson is also the youngest edge rusher anywhere found on this list.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like by
sure.
far. You have to scroll all the way to George Karlaftis, who's probably 15th down the list at age 24 as far as guaranteed money goes for edge rushers in the NFL. So that's what makes, like, we can talk about the money or whatever, it's too much, blah, blah, blah. He's the youngest guy on here. You have Micah Parsons, who's pretty young, and everyone else is in their late 20s or early 30s. Like, Hutchinson is here for the long haul. You're not paying a 31-year-old edge rusher some crazy money that's going to halt your defense when the end of that contract looks pretty bad. There's never going to be a time, most likely, where this contract looks bad, ever, because of how good Aidan Hutchinson is. So that's the good part about this.
Right. And, like, the only way it could look bad is if there was, you know, some sort of injury. But that already happened.
And also, you're just never going to bank on that happening.
Right. And he proved that even if that does happen, he can come back stronger,
significant injury
better.
as well, yeah.
Luckily, like, if we're talking the injury, like, it was a leg thing, not a knee thing. Because the knee thing is harder to recover from, building up the strength of your ACL, MCL, that sort of stuff. When the bone just breaks, like I think once you're back, you're back. And I think Hutchinson made a perfect example of that. Of hey, if you can go out there and play on the leg, you're going to be fine. And Hutchinson, of course, made an ideal scenario out of that. So okay, do we get to call him the highest paid player in the NFL if he has the highest guaranteed, but it's not total value average year?
I don't know. It depends on what people. Like, when you think of highest, what do you think of when you think highest paid guy in the NFL? Because
Guaranteed.
Personally, you do, really. Okay,
yeah, I
so
think it's who gets the most guaranteed.
I was going to say it's the per year value. That's kind of how I've always viewed it as. So that's kind of interesting. I guess we can't call him that then because we have different views. Yeah. Hey, that's why we are such a good tandem on the air, you know? Different opinions.
Yeah. This is pretty crazy, guys.
Let's call him the highest paid, though, because, like, he's got way more bread than Micah Parsons, you know? Like.
Well, I mean, you can say he is the most guaranteed money in NFL history for non-quarterbacks.
Yeah,
like that is factual. So he's getting $45 million a year if he gets every penny that's on the contract, which I don't really know why he wouldn't unless it's all incentives based. But I don't know why Aidan Hutchinson would have an incentives based contract. You know, in terms of the guaranteed money though.
Yeah. But it's the same thing for Parsons too. Like Parsons will likely get every dollar of his contract. Same thing.
Right. It'd have to take someone getting hurt to not get it.
Yeah.
This is exciting for the Lions, and now I think Hutchinson becomes the most intriguing storyline going into Sunday's matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. This is good stuff, guys. This is really good. I'm thrilled. I'm not at a loss for words. I'm just like trying to find them as we keep getting more and more information.
Just react to this, yeah.
Because I'd like to get the breakdown of like on a year-to-year basis, because the way Jared Goff and St. Brown and Sewell's contracts are set up is where it's like Goff's going to be making a ton this year, not as much this year. And then in the opposite years, it works as, okay, Sewell and Amon-Ra are going to get paid a ton the years that Goff's not getting paid. And then the years that they're not getting paid, Goff's getting more money.
Right.
How does Aidan Hutchinson weave his way into this? Because obviously this is more significant than any other contract on the team other than the Jared Goff contract. Now they have their star on defense paid. They have their quarterback and a couple of their offensive stars paid as well. This is just the first guy to fall. Like, there's going to be more guys to end up getting the contract. Hutchinson deserves it, though. Like, he waited this thing out on purpose, and I think he did that to get more money, and he got the money. But this was an absolute steal. I don't even want to call it a steal for the Lions, because I don't think it's like, holy cow, I can't believe they got him at that number, because, hey, he's the highest paid player in the NFL for guaranteed money, non-quarterbacks. I think they waited too long to do it, but they got it done at the end of the day. So I don't know why we do anything but be happy about this, right?
Totally.
All right, 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news and and do our two traditions to close out every show when we come back. This is the Ben Bosscher Show here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Max Stecker from Midland High School. With a 4.6 GPA, Max was a state-ranked discus and shot put thrower and the SVL Blues 2024 Player of the Year in football. Max credits his parents for instilling the work ethic in athletics and academics.
Both my parents, you know. My mom was a teacher, so over the summers I'd be doing math packets, everything like that, staying on top of things. And then, you know, my dad would always just, you know, be the really big encourager as far as sports go and stuff like that.
Max is now attending Northwood, a member of the Timberwolves football and track and field team. He's majoring in accounting and finance. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete, as we are now taking applications for our 2025-26 scholarship program. Visit 1009themitt.com.
Looking for a job can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. But at Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, they've got the magnet. Whether you're looking for steady work in manufacturing, a fresh start in the office, or the right people to grow your business, they make the match simple. Local recruiters, real relationships, and opportunities that fit you. That's the Spherion difference. Find your perfect fit today. Visit Spherion.com/Midland. Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, where opportunity works.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know the pervasive use of technology can lead to digital eye strain, burning or tired eyes, headaches, fatigue, loss of focus, blurred or double vision. Overexposure light from electronic devices may also increase the likelihood of developing serious eye conditions such as age-related macular degeneration. To give your eyes a rest, remember 20-20-20. Every 20 minutes, take a 20-second break and look at something 20 feet away. This message brought to you by Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and now on East Washington in Freeland.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm gonna go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we gotta run. Get out. Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Is the air in your home dry? Are allergies bothering you? Tired of itchy skin and static everywhere? We have your answer. Answer Heating and Cooling can install a whole home humidifier that keeps your air balanced, your skin comfortable, and your family breathing easier all winter long. Say goodbye to static shocks and hello to comfort. Call Answer Heating and Cooling today or visit AnswerSOS.com. Answer Heating and Cooling, the home of simply outstanding service.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
The high school football game of the week, presented by the Forward Corporation.
It's the playoffs, district semifinal round. The 8-1 Dow Chargers are the top seed in Division II, Region 2. They host the 5-4 Mott Corsairs from Waterford. Down, Waterford Mott. Pre-game coverage at 6:50 on Friday night.
Don't miss any of the action on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports. Sports Radio 100.9.
The Mitt.
The Mitt. Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Into the end zone.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Touchdown, MSU.
Heard right here on the Great Lakes Bay region's home for sports.
MSU's looking for their first Big Ten win. Heading to Minnesota to face the Golden Gophers, who have rode the boats to a 5-3 record. Kickoff Saturday at 3:30, presented by Weiss Equipment.
Don't miss a moment of Spartans football on Sports Radio 100.9.
Let's give them what they want.
Do it.
100.9 The Mitt.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we got some more updates with this Aidan Hutchinson contract extension that was done in the last half hour. So they are going to be ending this season, and then picking up his 5th-year option, and then the 4-year extension kicks in, which means Hutchinson is signed through 2030. You get Hutchinson this year, you get Hutchinson next year, then the 4-year extension kicks in. You've got him for the foreseeable future, signed through 2030. Can you believe it?
It's awesome, man. It seems like Brad Holmes always nails the little nooks and crannies of these contracts to get the maximized out of the potential of the player, and it seems like he did it again.
This is what they did with Sewell, too, by the way. Because he was the first-round pick, you have the year to extend him. They do it a year early, so you still get to finish out that year. You get the extension, and you get to sign him for 4 years. Because I think Sewell signed through 2029.
Yes.
And Hutchinson was the year after, so he signed through 2030.
Because Sewell's contract kicks in next season, correct?
Yes, because this is the year he's on the 5th-year option.
Right.
And next year will be Hutchinson's 5th-year option, which I'm still curious to see how it works out on a year-to-year basis, how much he's guaranteed and what his salary is each year split up. But what we do know is the 4-year extension, kick it down the line. I'm sure he's making more than what he would have made in next season than he would have if they didn't get him the contract. I'm sure it's going to be negotiated. But mega extension for the Lions' super-duper star of the team. I think, can we officially call him the face of the franchise now?
Yeah, I think we can. I think so. Face of the city, though.
I think he might be, man. I'm getting I don't know. I just can't help myself but to smile because this is the guy who grew up in this town, went to school in this state, got drafted 2nd overall by the team he grew up rooting for. He's the hometown kid, and he's lived up to exactly what he was supposed to be, plus way more, and he's been rewarded with it by getting the most guaranteed money in the history of the NFL for non-quarterbacks. This is
let's get him a depoy now, man.
Yeah, let's go get this guy a depoy. This is the guy, guys. He's lived up to that 2nd overall pick. He's lived up to being the face of the franchise, both in terms of what he's done on and off the field for the city, for the state, whether it's the hospital visits that he's consistently doing or whether it's the sacks that he gets every Sunday. This is the face of the team, and every single thing that the Detroit Lions strive to be is represented through Aidan Hutchinson. And the fact that he got paid as much money as he does with this mega contract extension, I just couldn't be happier for the guy. Forget the football element of it. You don't see this very often in the NFL. A hometown kid getting drafted to his hometown team, living up to the hype after being drafted 2nd overall. How many 2nd overall picks end up working out in the first place? Let alone, face of the franchise type of players that work out in every way, shape, and form. With all the talent that the Lions have on their roster, Aidan Hutchinson, I think, has kind of, now that he has his contract, levitated above everyone else. And to me is now officially this is our guy. If we're going to rally behind one dude, it's this guy. And that person's always been Sewell for me, and it's nothing against Sewell, but he's an offensive tackle.
Yeah,
at the
it's
end
hard
of
to
the
as
day.
a lineman, an offensive lineman.
Hutchinson plays the most impactful position in football other than a quarterback, and you see him get rewarded for that. So I couldn't be happier for the dude. This is a good day in Lions history, guys.
Man, about to shed a tear, Ben.
I'm not about to shed a tear, but this is, I don't know, you start to think about what it means for the city, for him, for his family, and it's just really awesome to see something play out like that,
For sure. This is a great day. This is a day we'll probably remember.
So
live on the show, too.
Yeah, that's the part I'm thankful about. So I'm going to skip out on the news. Let's get to our 2 traditions to close out every show. The first of those is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
We're hot. 2 days in a row that we've hit, right?
Yeah, don't let the Hutchinson contract distract you from the fact that lock of the day is not only hit 2 days in a row, but it's been 2+ money bets in a row, Ben. You're up 3.14 like pie units just through 2 days.
We're hot.
That's pretty big. And you've cut your October number down to 1.66 units down, which is huge because now you have 3 days to make up for essentially a unit and a half. To get up in the month of October, it'd be back-to-back months that you've gone up, which is big. You're just 20.35 units down all time now.
So I think I can afford to do a little bit of a not as aggressive bet today since we won 2 a little bit more aggressive ones the last 2 days. So I'm going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers to cover their 3-point spread against the Celtics. We saw the Pistons dominate the glass against the Celtics on Sunday, and we saw the Pistons get dominated on the glass by the Cavaliers on Monday. So I have no reason to believe that the Celtics can hang in there from a rebounding standpoint with Cleveland, who has maybe the best two big lineup in the NBA with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. The Celtics have maybe the worst center rotation, big man rotation in the NBA. So
Luka Garza slander.
Yes, Luka Garza slander. So I think this is a total mismatch in terms of there's just too much size for Cleveland when they roll out there. I don't know how Boston's going to keep up with that. Cleveland's out Sam Merrill, who's been hot, 17 points per game to start the season off the bench. But I don't know, man. I think the size is just too much of a factor here for the Celtics to hang around for the longer term. So 3 points, I don't usually like betting on NBA spreads, but I feel without the hook, just the even 3, right? That's what we got it at. So I feel comfortable because we could potentially get the push as well. So I will go Cleveland -3, who looks like one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. And I also don't think there's really anyone to slow down Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, he's been off to an awesome start so far this season.
Pistons certainly couldn't slow him down. Taylor fade, Kyle.
I'm going to sneaky fade this today.
Okay.
Boston 1-3 to start the season. Feels like they're not actually one of the worst teams in the league. I'll fade this.
I think they have maybe one of the worst center rotations in the league.
Right,
though,
but I mean, you
which
don't
matches up very poorly against this Cleveland team.
Darius Garland. You have Derek White to kind of sit out on the perimeter and try to lock up Donovan Mitchell. That's a good matchup for Boston. It's at home. I'll take the Celtics here.
All right. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
I just can't believe Hutchinson's paid.
Right.
We have been talking about this for over a year. Like, when is this going to get done? When is this going to get done? When is this going to get done?
How many times did we lead the show in the summer with that topic?
Once a week.
Once
or twice a week, because all the Micah Parsons stuff was like looming. And,
right, and that just added to it.
And even like going back to like February and March, the Myles Garrett contract was looming. Then TJ Watt got paid, and it was like, shoot, Brad Holmes kind of lost because he let TJ Watt get paid and he let Micah Parsons get paid first. Look, I think Aidan Hutchinson's the winner here of anybody. It's not Brad Holmes, it's Aidan Hutchinson for waiting this thing out. But from a human standpoint, and watching this kid grow up right in front of our eyes, from a recruit, then going to Michigan, then tearing his knee up there and losing out on his sophomore season, I think that was, coming back to Michigan and just being dominant once again, and then going to the draft and going all the way up to second. How he fell to second was a mystery. The Jaguars elect to just do Jaguars dumb stuff, and they ended up going with Travon Walker in that draft, which was just one of the biggest mistakes you'll see a franchise make. He falls right to the hometown kid. It's like somehow, or the hometown team. It's like somehow this stuff just works out for a reason, and he is everything that we've asked him to be, plus more. So I couldn't be happier to see him get paid. Is this going to be what Colin opens with? Is the question.
I was just thinking that, Ben. It's sneaky, right? Because typically we don't just see contract. Like, it'd be different if this was a trade and then contract made, but this is just a contract move. So how does that play into this? I don't necessarily know. I don't think I will guess it. It is my turn to go first today, which is big. I got a point yesterday as well. 27-23 is the score. I finally broke your streak. But here's the thing, like, what other news is there? World Series Game 4 happened last night for sure. That he led with World Series yesterday, but it wasn't some huge game that maybe there could be this for. I don't think I'm going to pick it, though. I'm still going to go with World Series. Ohtani did pitch yesterday, so I think that's going to be kind of the discussion. Like, oh, Ohtani pitched yesterday. It's hard to pitch in a game coming off of this, blah, blah, blah. Give me the Dodgers still to win this series. They're going to take it home. That'll be my pick. I'm not super confident in it today, though, but there's not a lot of options.
I'll take the Hutchinson deal. I mean, the Lions are one of the best teams in the NFL. He particularly likes the Lions, I believe.
He was kind of out on the Lions this year, though.
At the beginning of the year or when they were getting hurt?
At the beginning of the year.
I don't know how you couldn't be back in on them after the season that they've put together with some of the wins that they've picked up against Baltimore, against the Buccaneers. This has been a pretty dominant team ever since Kansas City. So I think this is going to be an Aidan Hutchinson lead. They lock up their guys. This is what Brad Holmes does. He's one of the best GMs in football. Like, you know what else we've avoided? There's never been a contract dispute or a contract holdout as long as Brad Holmes has been in charge.
Yep.
Not once has anyone took it to camp.
And this was the one that we were maybe a little bit worried about.
The only time that
and Anzalone, I guess.
Anzalone, it happened, but guess what? He ended up playing and he didn't even get a contract
It still
extension.
didn't really even happen, yeah.
Yeah, he missed a couple days of camp. Big deal. There has not been a single person to say, you know what,
awesome.
Pay me or I'm not coming to camp.
Which is a rarity in the NFL. I mean, this happens to an extreme amount across every team.
They've gone 7 for 7.
Yeah.
With their stars, they've gone 7 for 7. No one has ever sat out and demanded more money. Aidan Hutchinson plays through it, and he's rewarded for it today. This is a great day in Detroit Lions history because Aidan Hutchinson is now the highest paid guaranteed money in the history of the NFL.
You know, we messed up, man. It's for sure going to be a Colin Cowherd now gives his take on load management now that Michael Jordan did. That's going to be the lock of the lead of the day.
Hey, if you guys want to stay up to date on all the latest news, we will continue posting the Hutchinson stuff, all the nooks and crannies of the contract details on 100.9 The Mitt's Facebook. Just search Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. You guys can watch our socials on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok as well. Everything going on there. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. I'm sure we'll be talking even more about this contract extension because I'm sure we'll have the details by then. Appreciate everyone for tuning in.